Live from Ventura College, it's Oaks Baseball on KDTV, simulcasted on to YouTube. Welcome everybody into our little press row behind home plate at Ventura College, along with Jonah Malkin. My name is Jonathan Rifkin, bringing you Oaks Baseball against the Halos. The Oaks riding a 3-game hot streak, coming off a big win yesterday against the Orange County Riptide, 12-9. The Halos had the day off yesterday before playing the California Gold Sox in an interleague game. This is a big game for both teams because if the Oaks win and the Foresters lose to the Blues, the Oaks will take half a game up in first place in the CCL Central. Now, the Halos and the Oaks are duking it out, trying to get into second place in the CCL Central. Currently, the Oaks up a game and a half. If the Halos win today's game, that could change. So a big shakeup in the CCL today, depending on the final results on today's game and the Blues and the Foresters. But Jonah, this is the third time these two teams are playing each other, the third of 6. So far, the season series is split at 1 game apiece. The Oaks took the first game 5-2 back on the 14th of the month, and then 2 days later, the Halos won 7-6 when the Oaks blew a late game lead. This is the first time that most of these players are playing here at Ventura College. It's a little bit different. There's a hill out in center field. It's a little bit of an uphill battle running from home in the first. What does the team need to do to adjust to the dimensions here and get a win?
Well, the first thing is they got to take care of the ball in terms of errors. You cannot afford, especially on a field that's got some bumps in the ground, you don't want to take a chance letting it bounce past the glove of the infield. We saw firsthand yesterday when the Oaks took on the Riptide, how many balls just rolled past the gloves of a number of the infield for the Riptide, and you saw how that ultimately affected their performance and the outcome of that game. So for the Oaks, they have to stay locked in. We talk about it and stress it every single time they play, but generating hits early is their recipe for success. And if they can do that, then they should give themselves the best chance to win.
Giving themselves the best chance to win is exactly what Solis and squad are looking to do. It's a big game today, like I said. The Oaks have been hitting very well as of late. Yesterday, they poured in 14 hits. They only poured in 6 against the Legends, but they scored 5 runs 2 games ago. And then against the Foresters as well when they won 6-4 3 days ago. This is the final game of the Oaks' 8 games in 8 days marathon that has kind of took a toll on the team. The Oaks opened up at 1-3, and now they're 3-0 in the last 3 games, especially those wins against the Foresters and then yesterday against the Riptide, meaning a lot both for the wild card and for the CCL Central rankings. Now for the Oaks, obviously the biggest thing has been errors. Yesterday in the field, they had 3 errors that accounted for 4 total runs for the Riptide. And why is that a big deal? Well, because you do not want the team that you're playing, especially in a high-level game like this with so much on the line, to get into a game because of dumb mistakes. And that's exactly what happened yesterday. Now, mind you, the Riptide had 5 errors of their own that allowed the Oaks really to take the lead and hold on. So today, the Oaks need to just be more methodical in the field. Max Weinstein had 2 errors yesterday, which is very uncharacteristic for him. He only had 2 errors all season last year. Now he has 3 on the season. He is in the field today, back at second base. We'll see today how he adjusts after having that off day in the field. And for the Halos on the other side, by far their best start to a season in the last 4 years since joining the CCL. And now taking on the Oaks, a competitor that they split the season series last year 3-3. So far, they're tied 1-1 in the season series. They also need to get the bats rolling a little bit. When you go back to that game that they won, they actually had 14 hits that resulted in those 7 runs. But the game before that, the Oaks really held them to only 7 hits. So they really need to find the spots in the field. They're at home. This is a familiar field for them, and that should at least give them some motivation to try to take today's game from the Oaks. Well, we're going to hit a break. When we come back, the national anthem, starting lineups, and of course, your first pitch. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back.
Batting in the cleanup position, number 38, playing center field, Michael Tillman. Thank you. Play ball.
Nice little opera national anthem here for Ventura College. Welcome back, everybody. Along with Jonah Malkin, my name is Jonathan Rifkin. Our statistician Keith Schneider also with us on the road as the Oaks get set to take on the Halos here in game number 3 of 6 on the season between these two teams. Now we'll get you the starting lineups first. For the visiting Conejo Oaks, they come in at 14-6 overall, 10-6 in the CCL. Starting things out for the Oaks out in center field from Purdue, Milo Beam. Max Weinstein follows him out at second base from Cal Lutheran. Grant Mayu is in the 3 spot out at shortstop from San Diego State. Chase Cockrell cleaning things up for the Oaks from Ole Miss at third base. Brandon Lewis out in right field from Pierce College in the 5th spot. Cody Santana, the first baseman from Hawaii Pacific, is occupying the 6th spot. In the number 7 spot is Jordan McFarland out in left field from the University of Arkansas. Zane Williams is DHing today's game from Texas Tech out in the 8th spot. And to wrap things up for the Oaks lineup, Juan Gonzalez from Oklahoma Baptist. He will also make his home behind the plate. Today on the mound for the Oaks is Kenny Johnson getting his 4th start of the season. For the home Ventura Halos coming in at 10-7, 8-6 in the CCL out in left and, out at short and kicking things off is Rudy Aguilar. Behind him, Dayton Provost out in second base. Christian Jones occupies right field in the 3 spot. Michael Tillman is the cleanup batter for the Halos out in center field. Dalton Duarte plays first base and is in the 5th spot in today's game. Joey Mendez, the designated hitter, in the 6th spot. Behind him, Nick Lakaya catching. Blake Shearmonte over at third base in the 8th spot. And Arnett Johnson out in left field caps things off here for the Halos. On the mound is Jacob Lopez for Ventura. The Oaks and the Halos duking it out for the 3rd of 6 times this season. The Oaks will be back here on Sunday when these two teams will look to play again. That game is at 12 o'clock. It says TBA on the schedule, but it sounds like they changed it from originally a 4:30 start to a 12 o'clock start, so some early game baseball for you. But let's focus on today, Jonah, as we have a little bit of downtime as Lakaya makes a throw to second, signaling Beam. Beam getting his 3rd leadoff or opportunity to lead off here for the Oaks of the season. He's done a pretty good job in that leadoff spot with a couple of hits, only struck out twice. He does show bunt a lot, and he's only been successful 2 times. What do you think he needs to do to get things started off here for the Oaks?
Well, I think the big key is to be patient in the batter's box. We've seen what that's typically translated to, which is successful hits, and he likes to show bunt sometimes to just keep the pitcher off guard a little bit, give him a different look that they're not accustomed to seeing. But Beam, he's so dangerous because if he is able to get on base, he's so fast that he can easily steal over.
First pitch in from the lefty. Lopez has shown bump but fouled back for strike number 1. Start time is 4:32 local time. 84 degrees with a light breeze out towards center. Here in Ventura College, home of the Ventura College Pirates, a junior college in between Thousand Oaks and Santa Barbara. Johnson deals the 0-1 pitch way outside. Nick Lakaya actually loses the handle on it. And that'll leave the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. The Oaks last year won all 3 of their games here at Ventura College. And if you remember, Chad Bible from San Diego State hit one directly over the center field fence. The 1-1 pitch is ripped over to second base. Provost gloves it and mishandles it, allowing Beam to get over to first base. So that'll be an error on Dayton Provost to lead things off here for the Oaks, and they have a speedy runner on first base with nobody away.
Yeah, well, if that is telling at all for the Oaks, what an error can lead to. They had that firsthand experience in yesterday's contest, and the more reason for them to be extremely focused when they take the infield, not to let those balls bobble in their glove.
Bring up Max Weinstein in yesterday's game against the Riptide. Only 1 hit, but reached base 3 times on an error and a walk. Johnson deals the first pitch. It's sliced foul for strike number 1. Milo Beam over on first base. He led things off after an error by Dayton Provost allowed him to reach first base. Last time these two teams played, the Halos had 1 error. The Oaks had 3. The runner goes. Nope, it's going to be a pickoff attempt. Now Beam is caught in a pickle. The throw from Duarte over to Aguilar is in time, so count that as a 1-3-6 pickoff. And down goes the Oaks' leading base runner. 1 away, 0-1 count to Weinstein.
Yeah, and clearly the Halos did their homework. They know that Beam likes to steal.
Lopez deals, though, one pitch, and it's cracked foul towards first base. Now Weinstein's down 0-2. Max Weinstein led the Cal Lutheran Kingsmen to a championship just a couple weeks ago. He led the team in batting average, up about 326. And here amongst the top in the CCL, still batting over 400. Had a 14-game hitting streak that was ruptured last Thursday against the Barons. The 0-2 pitch from Lopez drops low for ball one.
Yeah, and Coach Solis deciding to integrate him in the second spot again. For the last couple games, he was inserted in the 5th spot.
Yeah, that contact that he provides is much needed in the number 2 spot. Lopez peers and fires the 1-2 pitch. And it's popped foul, towards right field. Running up on it is Jones, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. 2 away here. Top of the first, no score, no hits, an error in the field for the Halos as Graham Mayu will step in now. The shortstop from San Diego State had a good day yesterday in the number 3 spot. Ended up going 2 for 3 with a sacrifice, 2 stolen bases, and a run scored. He also had 1 strikeout. Didn't play this last year at San Diego State when he broke his foot. He had to get surgery, and that didn't allow him to play. First pitch from Lopez is taken for strike number 1 at the knees. No gun here at Ventura College. Cal Lutheran is really the only place that has a gun. And that makes it sort of homey when we go back. The 0-1 pitch is a breaking pitch on the outside corner for strike number 2.
Yeah, Lopez did a nice job keeping that pitch in the outside, but managing to drop it in the strike zone at the last second.
0-2 pitch drops low for ball 1. Feel free to tweet at us at Caneo_Oaks. He's at Jonah_Malkin. I'm at Johnny Riff with 1 F at the end. Or live chat with us in the live chat box on YouTube. The 1-2 pitch in from Lopez is taken low for ball 2. 2's across the board. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Oaks had a runner on and Beam, but he was out in a 1-3-6 put out, and Weinstein flew out to right thereafter. 2-2 count. Mayu steps back in. Lopez toes the rubber and deals. And it's taken low. Count full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Mayu, his Achilles heel at the beginning of the season was swinging at those pitches in the dirt, but he's really shown a lot of patience here towards the middle part of the season. The ready. Shoulders the bat. Waves it now. Lopez. Peers and fires the payoff pitch. And it's taken low for ball 4, and the Oaks get a 2-out base runner. And Jonah, this is where they strive in 2-out situations now with the big bat of Chase Cockrell stepping in.
Yeah, and not to mention it's overlooked, but Mayu's actually a really smart base runner as well. He knows when it's appropriate to steal and when it's appropriate to stay back. We saw yesterday 2 stolen bases. Not to mention when wild pitches come, he's just good at seeing when it's a good time to run.
Pickoff attempt. Mayu's back before the throw is even made, but nonetheless. He has 4 stolen bases on the season, including those 2 yesterday. Also one of the Oaks leaders in runs scored. Cockrell waiting patiently for Ole Miss. Lopez deals the first pitch in the dirt and inside for ball 1. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks. No runs, no hits, and error here for the Halos in the top of the first, but the Oaks have a base runner on with 2 away, and that's where they're most effective. Majority of the season, they actually have been scoring in 2-out situations. The 1-0 pitch is roped into right center field, and it is going to be missed by Christian Jones. Rolling up the hill into right field. Running third and coming home is Mayu, and that is going to be a stand-up RBI double for Chase Cockrell, and the Oaks take a 1-0 lead here early in the top of the first.
That's an important at-bat for Chase Cockrell. He has struggled mightily in the past few games, batting under 200 in the last 5 games. So it was important to see one go through the glove and drop into center for a nice RBI double.
Cockrell's done a very good job going opposite field this season. I also want to give a shout-out to Nellie Beam, Milo Beam's mom, for taking to Twitter and calling Jonah and myself rock announcers. We definitely appreciate that, Mrs. Beam, and always a pleasure calling games for your son. Brandon Lewis from LA Pierce College steps up, batted .419 this past season with Pierce. Swings that bat over his right shoulder. Lopez Pearson fires the first pitch as the foul tipped back against the fence for strike number 1. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for the Oaks. Nothing across the board for the Halos, but an error. They have yet to take some hacks as we are in the top of the first inning. Milo Beam led things off reaching on that error, but was out there after. Weinstein flew out to right. Mayu walked, and Cockrell, standing at second base, had an RBI double. Lopez checks him, and the southpaw deals, though, one pitch, and it's ripped over to first. Actually, it's going to be a small, slow roller to Duarte, and he'll take it himself for out number 3. Nonetheless, though, the Oaks strike for 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, and 1 left on base. We're through half an inning here from Ventura College. Oaks lead at 1-0. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back.
1 left and 1 error. Your Ventura Halos up to bat.
Feeling all right. Back down the country road. The girls are
Back here at Ventura College, Oaks up 1-0 in the bottom of the first inning. Jonah Malkin, myself, Bakersfield on the mound. Pitch, and it's ripped foul towards the hitters on the front, outlined by White. The Oaks in their baby blues. Kenny Johnson, one of the most effective Oaks. 1-1 pitch, it swung on and missed for strike number 2.
Yeah, Johnson just so dangerous strike.
For Rudy Aguilar and the Halos, with nobody away in the bottom of the first inning. It's going to bring up Dayton Provost now, playing second base in today's game. Tying run on first base. Aguilar does have some speed. We'll see if he... Oh, pitch is swung and missed for strike number...
Able to spot.
Stop Grant Mayu. Johnson comes set in here. Oaks up 1-0. And with the Foresters and the Blues duking it out today...
Already you're seeing Chase Cockrell over at third, creeping in. Provost doesn't know.
Johnson nods, Pearson fires the 2-1 pitch. It's a curveball fouled back towards the fence. And that'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oaks up 1-0 on a hit, no errors, no runs to hit. 1 error here for the Halos, but a runner on first base with nobody away. As Johnson takes that low stride forward, and will attempt a pickoff, but it's late. Sliding back safely is Aguilar. So still 2-2-1 tomorrow. Finally, after playing 8 games in 8 days, fires the 2-2 pitch, swung and missed for strike 3. Down goes Provost. The first strikeout on the day for Johnson. And also Aguilar was caught stealing on the throw. So there are 2 away now.
Yeah, and make that now 7 of 8 runners that Gonzalez able to catch. Unbelievable reaction. He just got up quickly and delivered a beauty over to Weinstein at second.
Aguilar thought he could catch him sleeping, but to no avail as Christian Jones steps in and takes a first pitch strike on the outside corner. The right fielder in today's game. Looking to be that last breath here in the bottom of the first inning. Oaks up 1-0, 2 away. 0-1 count as Johnson deals, and it's swung and missed for strike number 2. Johnson has that elusive off-speeder that starts off towards the belt and kind of drops in with that late tail, and it's really hard for batters to get a handle on it. As Johnson shakes off the first one, comes set, 0-2 pitch coming, and it's waved foul for the third pitch of that bat, and we're still at 0-2.
Yeah, and the other thing Johnson does that's really impressive is he keeps all of his pitches really low, so even if the opposing batters are able to get a bat on it, could lead to an easy ground out or a fly out.
0-2 pitch is waved and missed for strike 3. Down goes Jones. No runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left on base, and 2 strikeouts in the inning for Johnson. Oaks still lead at 1-0. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV, simulcasted onto YouTube. We'll be right back.
1-0 Oaks.
And I knew if I had my
Top of the second as Cody Santana steps in and waves the first pitch he sees foul for strike number 1 in the number 6 spot. Welcome back, everybody. Jonah Malkin, Jonathan Riffin. Oaks up 1-0 here in the top of the second at Ventura College. Santana struggled until the Oaks started winning again, so he must be part of the reason why the Oaks are on their hot streak. Steps back in with an 0-1 count. Lopez back on the mound, lefty on lefty matchup as the 0-1 pitch. The Hawaii Pacific Shark is taken inside for ball 1.
It certainly seems to be a byproduct as well of the Oaks' success, leading to success as well on Santana's part.
As Johnson brings that ball up to his face, gloves it. 1-1 pitch is a curveball waved in and missed for strike number 2. Nice pitch there from Lopez. He has a walk and a strikeout. Excuse me, not a strikeout. He only has a walk on the day. He has not given up anything but a hit and a run. As he quickly comes set and fires the 1-2 pitch, waved at and missed. For strike 3, down goes Santana. Now he has a strikeout on the day. And that'll bring up Jordan McFarland from the University of Arkansas. He was struggling until yesterday. He did have 2 strikeouts, but ended up going 1 for 5. With an RBI single. He had an RBI double the day before against the Foresters. First pitch from Lopez is dealt upstairs for ball 1. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for the Oaks. No runs, a hit, 1 error for the Halos here in the top of the second inning. As Lopez comes set and fires the 1-0 pitch, taken at the belt for a strike.
Yeah, and actually McFarland entering this game, 3 consecutive RBIs. He's had an RBI in the last 3 games.
1-1 pitch is taken in the dirt, 2-1, and that's a really big stat because before that game, Jonah, where the Oaks down the Foresters 6-4, he was 1 for 17. He kind of turned it around coming in as a pinch hitter with that RBI double that eventually sealed the game for the Oaks. 2-1 pitch is a 2-hopper to second. Provost will glove it and make the toss over for out number 2. Give you a lay of the land here for the Halos. Out and right is Christian Jones. Michael Tillman is in center. Arnett Johnson in left. Dalton Duarte at first. Dayton Provost at second. Rudy Aguilar at short. Blake Shiramonte is over at third. Behind the dish is Nick Lakai, and on the mound is Jacob Lopez. As the Alvin Community College turned Texas Tech Red Raider steps in. Zane Willems and takes a pitch at the knees for a strike. Another very productive Oaks batter yesterday. He had 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored. Ended up going 1 for 3, but he reached on error and walked as the 0-1 pitch is taken outside for ball 1.
Yeah, and that's another reason why Coach Solis loves having him in there, because even just as a designated hitter, he's so good at making contact and bringing runners home.
Also a good arm behind the plate. The 1-1 pitch is waved at and missed for strike number 2. Waiting on deck, should we get that far, is Juan Gonzalez in the hole. Milo Beam back at the top of the order. Hooks up 1-0 here. 1-2 count to Willems, who had Tommy John surgery after his freshman year in college. The 1-2 pitch is taken outside, 2-2. Now, he was recruited as a pitcher and a catcher out of high school. Batted .246 his freshman year at Alvin College in Texas. Had Tommy John surgery, had to take the year off. Then batted .346 at Alvin Community College this past season. Now headed to Texas Tech in the fall. 2-2 pitch from Lopez is dealt. Check swing, the pitch is outside, and he was able to hold back in time, drawing a full count.
Yeah, and Lopez has done a nice job finding the strike zone on those sliders. He's kept them away from the batters, in addition keeping them low. And also not the fastest slider, so it catches batters swinging and off guard.
Full count pitch in is popped foul and out of play, and we'll do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Oaks would like to thank their sponsors, Roadrunner Shuttle, for getting the Oaks to and from Cal Lutheran safely on their away games. Stephen Joseph Sweet, orthopedic surgeon in Oxnard, Cronies Bar and Grill, and Jimmy John Sandwich. The payoff pitch once again is popped foul over towards first base, but that's going to get out of play. And for the 3rd straight time, we'll do it at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Willems doing a nice job working his way back in the count, fighting off the pitches, keeping himself alive.
2 away. Oaks up 1-0 here in game 1 of 3 in Ventura College. The 3-2 pitch is a breaking pitch. Popped high behind the plate. Running back on his Lakaya, and he's going to mishandle it as he almost ran into Duarte, the first baseman, in between home plate and first base. And once again, we'll do it with the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Willems staying alive here with 2 away for the Oaks.
Yeah, that ball was kind of drifting, and with the wind, it kind of carried it over. So when Duarte and Lakaya were both trying to make the grab, it got away from them at the last second.
Willems, very good contact hitter, has not struck out in quite a while. Now looking to keep that streak alive here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lopez working out for the 4th time in a row. It's a curveball popped back behind the plate. Lakaya is going to wave it off as Lopez is going to get it just short of the mound for out number 3. Oaks will go down in short order here. No runs, no hits, there's nobody left on base. 1-2-3 inning. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Middle of the order, due up here for the Halos, Tillman, Duarte, and Mendez. As Johnson back on the mound for his 2nd of work, throws a pitch low for ball 1. Oaks up 1-0 here, both teams with a hit, but the Halos with an error as well on the board. Bottom of the 2nd, Jonah Malkin, Jonathan Rifkind. 1-0 count to Tillman as Johnson deals, and it's ripped between short and 3rd in the left field for a leadoff single. That's the 2nd leadoff single in as many innings for the Halos. Last time Rudy Agler got on, but was caught stealing on a strikeout. Dalton Duarte now going to step in and try to advance that runner a little bit. The Halos down, but not by very much. A lot of lefties in the lineup here for Ventura. As Johnson from Cal State Bakersfield comes set. Pearson fires the first pitch. It's tipped into the glove of Gonzalez for strike number 1. Lay of the land for you here for the Oaks. Out and right is Brandon Lewis, as the pickoff attempt comes not in time. Out in center is Milo Beeman. Left is Jordan McFarland. Cody Santana at first base. Max Weinstein at second base. Grant Mayo at short. Chase Cockrell at third. Behind the dish is Juan Gonzalez. And on the mound is Kenny Johnson. The Roadrunner checks the runner at first. Takes a breath. Comes set. Pearson fires. The 0-1 pitch. And it's a breaking ball outside for ball 1.
Yeah, Johnson, so methodical in his delivery. Has a routine. Likes to wait for a few seconds, collect himself, and then deliver his fastballs or any type of pitch, really.
Not a very big lead from Tillman at first. Probably about a step and a half as Johnson checks him. He comes set almost like he's going to be a sidearm pitcher and then throws that 1-1 pitch low for ball 2, but he comes around. When he comes set, you see him tuck in that arm. It looks like he almost like Angus Denton, the Texas Tech, or leans over as if he's going to throw it sidearm, and then deals the 2-1 pitch inside for ball. 3-1 count, 1 on, nobody away. Oaks up 1-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. As Johnson will do it again, but this time with the count full at 3. Fulch is ripped above the glove of Santana at first, rounding second, and going to third is Tillman out in right field. And that tied run now 90 feet away from home plate.
Yeah, and we were talking about it. 1 run doesn't mean either a sacrifice bunt or a fly out into outfield could send a runner home for the Halos.
First and third, number 1. Tillman at third, Duarte at first. Nobody away. Practice swings is Mendez. Johnson from the stretch, toes the rubber, kicks and deals the 1-0 pitch, and it's hit over to left, but foul. That'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
What I've noticed, though, is at least in this inning, the Halos have done a nice job of making contact with the ball, though it's going in to foul territory. 2 of them have already dropped in, and Mendez got a good swing on that one.
Johnson checks the runners, fires the 1-1 pitch low for ball 2. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for the Oaks here. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Halos, but they're looking to change that score with runners at the corners and nobody away. Not a lot of speed on the base paths. That bottom of the order looming, we'll see how Johnson approaches. Gonzalez from Oklahoma Baptist shows the sign from behind the dish. The 2-1 pitch is outside and low for ball 3.
Johnson's trying to keep these pitches away from the batters, but unfortunately finds himself in a second consecutive down in the count situation.
3-1 pitch from Johnson, runs upstairs. Mendez will stride over the first. Duarte over at second, and Tillman still at third. The first walk on the day for Johnson, and now the bases are loaded for Nick Lakaya for the Halos. Did not play in that second game against the Oaks back on June 16th, but in the first game on June 14th, he came in as a pinch hitter and ended up singling and scoring. As Solis walks out to the mound and has a conversation with his entire infield and his pitcher Johnson.
Yeah, and if you're Johnson, you're just hoping that Lakaya will ground one in the infield for a potential double play.
Best case scenario would be an infield fly rule or a strikeout here for Johnson. Last thing he wants to do is allow any sort of opportunity for a run to come in from third. Kaya steps in, takes his time as Johnson calls time. And now Lakaya takes that one twirl, waves the bat over his right shoulder. Johnson comes set, takes a breath, and fires the first pitch in for ball 1. Low in the dirt. Johnson's mean fastball ranges between 87 and 91 miles an hour. No gun here at Ventura College. We are split at Cal Lutheran to have some top quality amenities. Bases are full. 1-0 count, 1-0 the score. Nobody away as Johnson deals, though, 1 pitch at the belt for a strike.
Yeah, Johnson did a nice job keeping that pitch inside on Lacayo.
Tillman at third, Duarte at second, Mendez at first. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for the Oaks. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Halos. Wind still blowing out to center field, but that is the deepest center field in the CCL, and there's a hill to run up it, so that makes it even more challenging for those outfielders. Johnson deals the 1-1 pitch. It's popped foul out of play, and he is now ahead in the count finally for the first time in 3 batters. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Blake Shiramonte waiting for his turn on deck in the hole. Arnett Johnson. Lacayo is the number 8 batter in the lineup. Johnson from Lancaster, California. Plays his college ball at Cal State Bakersfield. Toes the rubber. Here's and fires the 1-2 pitch, and it's roped to second. Weinstein gets it and mishandles it. That ball's going to run into right. Rounding third and coming home following Tillman is Duarte to throw to the plate. No, he's going to run back. Gonzalez, though, is going to throw it. And now Duarte's caught in a pickle. Runners are running as the first tag comes in. The second tag is not. So Duarte is going to be gunned down in a pickle. Coming in and scoring was Tillman on the tying run. An error out there in second by Max Weinstein. That will make the run unearned. And advancing from first to second on the pickle was Lacayo. Mendez now on third base. So not a hit. That's an error in the field. Max Weinstein now with 3 errors in 2 days. He has 4 errors on the season. And he only had 2 all season last year, just struggling out there at second base. 1 away, second and third. 1-1 our score here in the bottom of the second, excuse me. As Blake Shiramonte steps in. Didn't play the Oaks back on the 16th, but he gave the Oaks fits on the 14th as Johnson deals the first pitch into him, and it's popped into shallow right center field. Running in on it is Beam, and he can't make the catch as it rolls behind him. Coming in and scoring is Mendez. And the Halos are able to take a 2-1 lead on that base hit. Nope, it's going to be an error. Out in center field by Milo Beam, his first error on the season. It's counted as an E8, allowing that other run to come in. Score is now 2-1 Halos, both runs unearned for Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, unfortunately, 2 consecutive errors. We saw the Oaks were on the other end of it in yesterday's contest.
Arnett Johnson stepping in the number 9 spot. 1 away, runners at the corners, 2-1 the score as he cuts and misses at the first pitch. First strike, number 1.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the Oaks were in a perfect situation. They got what they wanted, the ground out to Weinstein. Could have led to a double play and gotten out of the inning still up 1-0.
Big off attempt to no get out there at first. 2 consecutive errors have led to 2 consecutive runs for the Halos. As Arnett Johnson steps back in, facing an 0-1 count. Johnson checks the runner at first, nods. Kicks and fires, though, 1 pitch upstairs for ball 1. One's across the board, now 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 away, bottom of the second, on first base. Here's Blake Shiramonte on third base as Nick Lacayo both reached on errors. Both with RBIs, but those 2 runs unearned as Johnson deals the 1-1 pitch, a curveball waved at and missed for strike number 2. And once again, Johnson's ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Normally a very good strikeout pitcher, only has 2 here back in the first inning. He also has a walk, and he's given up 3 hits as well. As Johnson steps back in. Pearson fires the 1-2 pitch, and it's taken outside for ball 2. Feel free to tweet at us at Caneo_Oaks. He's at Jonah_Malcolm. I'm at Johnny Riff 1F at the end on Twitter. Or chat with us in the live chat box in the upper right-hand corner of the YouTube stream. 2-2 count for Johnson. Arnett Johnson steps back in. 2-2 pitch is ripped over to third, but just foul over to the left side of the third base bag, and we'll do it again at 2-2. It's Johnson versus Johnson. So I guess I'll have to use first names when the 9-hitter comes up and Kenny Johnson's still on the mound for the Oaks.
Come on, guys, roll it up.
As Arnett Johnson steps back into the plate, Kenny Johnson on the mound. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Runners at the corners, 2 around in the inning for the Halos. As Kenny Johnson deals the 2-2 pitch, waved at and missed upstairs for strike number 3. Down goes Johnson. Third strikeout on the day for Kenny Johnson on the mound. And that's the second time that he's got a batter swinging and missing at a high fastball. It's been pretty effective for him here, Jonah.
Number 2, Rudy Aguilar.
Yeah, and they got lucky. The Oaks, the infield got lucky because Arnett Johnson launched one that nearly got over the third baseline that could have led to more runs.
Rudy Aguilar steps in now back at the top of the order, 1 for 1 on the day, but he was caught stealing, takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Long inning here for the Oaks in the field, facing number 7 batter now of the inning, but they're at the top of the order. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Halos. 1 run, 1 hit, 2 errors for the Oaks as Johnson texts the runner at first, nods, and deals the 1-0 pitch inside for ball 2. Michael Tillman led things off here for the Halos with a single. He came around to score. Dalton Duarte followed him with a single. Joey Mendez walked. Nick Lucaya got on base due to an error. Blake Shiramonte also got base due to an error, and Johnson struck out. 2-0 pitch taken up at the letters but called ball. Johnson now behind in the count, 3 balls, no strikes.
And that's a tough call if you're the umpire because it certainly seemed like it might have clipped the top part of the strike zone. But a heads-up play from Aguilar to lay off.
Johnson, a typically 5-inning guy. We'll see how long he plays here as the 3-0 pitch is taken over the heart of the plate for a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 away now. He has a 2-and-run record on the season. 2-and-1, I should say, not 2-and-run, but had to deal with that loss his last outing. Looking composed, though, down 2-1 as he deals the 3-1 pitch at the knees for a strike. And now the count's full. He's 1 for 2 on the day in full count situations. And now looks to get the Oaks out of this inning with some minimal damage done, trying not to allow that run from third to come in. As he deals the payoff pitch, runners go. It's a fastball, swung and missed for strike 3. Down goes Aguilar. And we're out of the second inning. Nonetheless, though, 2 runs come around on 2 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left on base. Halos lead at 2-1 as we hit the break. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Back here in the top of the third as Juan Gonzalez steps in and takes the first pitch low for a ball. Oaks down 2-1 as Lopez back on the mound deals the 1-0 pitch at the knees for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2-1 the score. The Halos plated 2 on 2 errors in the field by the Hoaks back in the bottom of the second inning. As Lopez deals the 1-1 pitch, it's reached out to left. Arnett Johnson's not going to get there as it hits the top of the wall. Rounding first and going to second, and leading things off with a stand-up double is Juan Gonzalez in the number 9 spot for the Oaks from Oklahoma Baptist. And just like that, there's a runner in scoring position here with nobody away for Milo Beam in the top of the order.
Yeah, and Gonzalez actually, as of late, has been batting pretty well. Coach Solis has now utilized him as well as Willems in multiple games precisely because the two of them can hit well.
Lefty on lefty matchup once again. Beam reached on an error his last time up, but then was thrown out on a 1-3-6 put out. Checking the runner at second is Lopez. Deals, Beam shows bunt. He gets it down towards third base. Gloving it is Shiramonte, and he will throw it over to Duarte at first in time, but the sacrifice gets the job done. Chalk that as a sack. 5-3 for those keeping score at home, and that advances Gonzalez to third, tying run 90 feet away from home plate. And Max Weinstein, 0 for 1 on today with an error, will step in.
Yeah, he's certainly looking to redeem himself after that error, but he's more than capable of doing it. Just an incredible batter for the Oaks.
By far the clutchest player in the CCL steps in. Lopez deals a curveball taken over the heart of the plate for a strike. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Oaks. 1 run, 2 hits. Or excuse me, for the Halos, 1 run, 2 hits, 2 errors for the Oaks. As Lopez kicks and fires the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike number 2. 0-2 the count now to the Cal Lutheran Kingsman. Started his career at UC Irvine. He's actually a pitcher and a fielder, but redshirted his freshman season and transferred to CLU. Lopez Pearson fires the 0-2 pitch in the dirt, short hopped by Lakaya. And the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, Weinstein did a nice job laying off that. Lopez threw the same pitch, an off-speed slider on the inside. Weinstein did a nice job of holding back his swing.
1 ball, 2 strikes now. From Canyons, California, waving that bat over his right shoulder. Lopez deals the 1-2 pitch, and it's ripped foul into the Oaks into the Oaks dugout, I should say. And we'll do it again at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Everybody's still doing okay in there, besides that ball being whipped at full speed. We'll do it again at 1-2. Lopez comes set on the rubber, takes the sign from Lakaya behind the plate, and deals the 1-2 pitch. Popped foul once again out of play, and Weinstein staying alive here for the Oaks. Nice day here for Ventura. In the low 80s right now as we hit the latter part of the day. Sunny skies. I do expect that sea fog to come in once we hit 6:30, 7 o'clock local time. About 2 or 3 miles from the ocean. 1-2 pitch in, runs outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. The ball gets away from Lakaya, but he quickly chases after it and keeps Gonzalez over at third base. While Joan and I are situated in the stands here behind home plate, we are amongst friends. The smiling and humbling Santana family always gracing us with their presence out here behind the plate. 2-2 pitch is up and away for ball 3. I know about 20, 25 Halo fans occupying Ventura College as well as a scout. Full count now to Weinstein. Worked his way back from a 1-2 count. Been fighting off a couple of pitches as Lopez deals a slider that just misses outside for ball 4. Weinstein will stride over to first base. The second walk on the day for Lopez. And for the Oaks, 1 away, runners at the corners, and Grant Mayu will step in. He was the first walk sufficed by Lopez in today's game back in the first inning.
Yeah, and Weinstein did a nice job working his way back in a 0-2 count. 4 straight pitches he lays off. Although Lopez's 3-2 pitch nearly caught the outside of the corner.
Lopez deals the first pitch to the Aztec, and he rips it over to second base. Provost gets it, caught Max Weinstein off first as well, and that will be a line out to second and then a throw out over to first for outs number 2 and 3 of the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We're through 2.5 years from Ventura College. Oaks down 2-1 to the Halos. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back.
In Las Vegas and showed hometown love with the 805 freestyle explosion.
Bottom of the 3rd inning, Halos up 2-1 over the Oaks. Welcome back, everybody. He's Jonah Malkin. I'm Jonathan Rifkin. This is Oaks Baseball on KDTV. 2-3-4 hitters due up here in Provost, Jones, and Tillman. Kenny Johnson back on the mound for his turn of work. Fires the first pitch into Provost. It's blooped into left field. Running back on it is McFarland, and it's going to drop just short of his glove for a leadoff single. The 3rd leadoff single in 3 innings for the Halos. They've been getting out ahead early in these innings, and it's been trouble for the Oaks down 2-1.
Yeah, and that's not the way you want to start off the inning, especially the way the last inning transpired. Quickly, bases were loaded. So once again, as you mentioned, 3rd consecutive leadoff hit.
2 runs, 4 hits, and an error for the Halos. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 errors for the Oaks, as Johnson's going to check Provost back to first base. He was 0 for 1, by the way, on the day before that single. Struck out back in the 1st inning. Christian Jones steps in, and he was the 2nd strikeout victim in the 1st inning, 0 for 1 on the day, as Johnson deals a beautiful breaking pitch, cut on and missed for strike number 1. Ventura band practicing out in the football field, back towards our right side. Nice campus here, one of the better community colleges in the state of California, as Johnson deals the 1 pitch outside for ball 1, and they send a lot of baseball players to Division I colleges by transfer. One of them being Oaks pitcher Ray Lambert, who plays at San Diego State now, started his career at CSUN. I would expect to see Ray available in the bullpen in today's game, as Johnson checks the runner at first, comes set in the stretch and fires. The 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed for strike number 2.
Yeah, beautiful pitch from Johnson off speeder. Kept it low. Forced Jones to try and swing on it up.
1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody away. Runner on first. Halos up 2-1. As Johnson checks Provost back at first base. Provost with a 1.5 lead. Johnson nods. Pearson fires the 1-2 pitch, and it hits the elbow of Jones. He was down 1-2 in the count, but he gets hit by a fastball, and he will take first base. First hit batter on the day for either side. Runners on first and second now with nobody away, and this is eerily familiar back to the 2nd inning when the Halos were able to get runners on all bases with nobody away. Michael Tillman steps in now. 1 for 1 on the day with a single. Came around to score the first run for the Halos back in the 2nd inning. First and second occupied, nobody away. Johnson checks the run at second and fires. Popped up over into shallow right. Running back on it is Max Weinstein, and he will glove it for out number 1. Runners stay put. And that has to be a sigh of relief for Johnson. 1 pitch, 1 away here, but runners still on first and second base.
Yeah, also a sigh of relief for Weinstein as well, because he's had a couple miscues in second. So able to recover and make a play on that one.
Dalton Duarte is going to step in now. He's also 1 for 1 on the day, but he was caught in a pickle back on third base in the 2nd inning when he was thrown out, as Johnson comes set, quickly fires the first pitch. That one's also popped up high in the sky over to second base. Weinstein calls for it, but no, Mayu, the shortstop's going to call him off and glove it for out number 2. So after giving up a single and a hit batter, Johnson's dealt 2 pitches, and both of them have been flyouts to the middle infielders for the Oaks. 2-1 our score, 2 away, and now Joey Mendez stepping in.
Joey Mendez.
Yeah, and that's just fortune at its best for the Oaks. You give up a single and a hit by a pitch, advancing runners to first and second, and then you get bailed out with 2 flyouts in the infield. Perfect way to try and conclude this inning.
Joey Mendez steps in now. 0 for 0, but he has a walk, came around to score the second run back in the second inning. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error here for the Halos. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 errors for the Oaks. 2 away, 2 on. The righty steps in. Johnson on the mound, deals the first pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Waiting on deck, should we get that far? Nick Lakai and the whole Blake Shiramonte. Halos coming off a day off yesterday, but played the Gold Sox in an interleague game on Sunday where they won. Johnson checks the runner at second and deals the 0-1 pitch outside. The back pick attempt is not in time. Sliding back safely is Jones. Boy, was that a close call there. And now Solis looks like he's going to come out. No, he's just going to take a step out of the dugout and give his viewpoint to the umpire. But nonetheless, 1-1 on the board now. Runner still at first and second with 2 away.
Wow, that's a close one. Perhaps Jones was able to get his left arm outstretched onto the glove before Santana could tag him out.
1-1 count to Mendez. He steps back in. Johnson deals, and it's popped foul for strike number 2. Oaks coming off a win yesterday against the Orange County Riptide. Before that, taking a 5-0 win against the Legend, and before that, they beat the Foresters 6-4. 3-game winning streak for the Oaks. The 1-2 pitch is roped in the shallow center field. Rounding third and coming home is Provost. The throw will not come in time. And that'll play another run here for the Halos, and they take a 3-1 lead. On first is Mendez with the RBI single, and moving over to second was Christian Jones.
Now batting number 8, Nick Lacayo.
First earned run on the day for Johnson, but 3 across the plate nonetheless for the Halos as they take a 2-run lead now with 5 hits up on the board. And Nick Lacayo stepping in, 0 for 1 on the day. He reached on an error back in the second inning, was stranded on third base thereafter. Johnson comes set, toes the rubber, checks the runner at second, peers and fires the first pitch, and it's popped up towards shallow shortstop as Grant Mayu will run in, glove it for out number 3. 1 run comes around on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We're through 3 full here from Ventura College. Oaks down 3-1. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back.
Park Grill
4, 5, 6 hitters due up for the Oaks. They're down 3-1 here in the top of the 4th. And for play-by-play, my broadcasting partner, Jonah Malkins.
Thank you, Johnny. And quickly, Chase Cockrell will step in as the Oaks find themselves down 3-1 here in the top of the 4th as Lopez's first pitch slides inside for strike 1. Oaks have struggled to muster up hits, just 2, as well as 2 errors. 0-1 pitch, just misses the strike zone for ball 1. Cockrell got off to a good start, hit an RBI double in the first. Looking to lead off here in the top of the 4th. 1-1 pitch, runs outside for ball 2. The Oaks looking to extend their winning streak to 4 here at Ventura College, coming off wins against the Foresters, Long Beach Legends, and the Orange County Riptide. The 2-1 pitch runs outside, but Cockrell just swings on it to bring the count even at 2-2. Lopez takes the sign from Lacayo, sets and fires the 2-2 pitch that's chopped into foul territory, so we'll do it again. Cockrell, the Ole Miss Rebel, didn't actually play in yesterday's game against the Riptide, got the day off. 2-2 pitch, fouled again, out of play. Where he pinch hit and got walked over, but didn't make the start against the Riptide. But he did play against the Halos the first time, actually both times these two teams met. As Lopez sets and fires the 2-2 pitch, cut on and missed for strike 3. So Cockrell tried to hold back his swing, but couldn't in time. And that will be the second strikeout for Lopez on the day. Brandon Lewis stepping in for the Oaks.
Yeah, Lopez not shying away from these batters, and it's faring very well for him here in this game. He has the lead. He's a little bit more comfortable, and the Oaks really not swinging the bat too well thus far.
Lewis steps in, quickly hits that one over the third base line into left field. Lewis is going to come around to second for a stand-up double. So Brandon Lewis delivering for the Oaks here in the top of the 4th.
Lewis has been seeing the field a lot better as of late. He went 0 for 4 yesterday, but reached base twice on errors and a fielder's choice, and was caught stealing, as well. But here in Ventura College, able to rope that one over to third base, back into the corner of left field, and get a runner into scoring position, which is much needed here for the Oaks.
So Lewis at second, and Santana is going to step in for the Oaks. 1 on, 1 away. 0-0 slider just misses the top of the strike zone for ball 1. Santana had an impressive 25 RBIs for Hawaii Pacific this past season, and has a couple RBIs in the last 3 games alone, looking to extend that streak here.
Also a valedictorian, 4.0 GPA.
1-0 pitch, cut on and missed for strike 1.
Yeah, he does a little bit of everything, Jonah, able to lead the Sharks in hitting. Has that straight A student as well, and also always has a smile on his face. And I was telling him earlier, you know why you're going to be successful in life? Because you never stop smiling. And those who smile throughout life somehow find a way to be successful and be happy.
Certainly learned those values from his parents. As Lopez is going to walk with Lacayo to talk things over. So Oaks still down 3-1 here in the top of the 4th, with Brandon Lewis over at second and Santana stepping in. 0 for 1, struck out in the second, looking to bring himself to 500 on the day. 1-1 pitch, drops just outside of the strike zone for ball 2. That is a tough call.
Everybody kind of held their breath there. The home plate umpire took a second to evaluate it, and yeah, some umpires give it to you and some umpires don't. If if you're Santana, you're very happy with that call, but if you're Lopez, you're a little bit frustrated.
Certainly looked like it might have crossed. But nonetheless, Lopez checks the runner at second, throws that one low and outside for ball 3. So that's actually one of the first times that Lopez has been down in the count to a batter. He's typically, the Oaks batters have had to work their way back into counts, but this time it's just been given to him.
He does have 2 walks, though. After those 2 walks, he's been more aggressive.
Here comes the 3-1 pitch, low below the glove of Lopez, or below Lacayo, and Lewis gonna head over to third on the wild pitch.
And that's hard to complain if you're the Oaks. Not only do you get a walk, you also get a runner 90 feet away from second, or from home, excuse me, on the play. Runners at the corners now. And that tying run in Santana over at first base, not blinding speed, but he does display a little bit of explosiveness, and if he doesn't hesitate on the base paths, he can really get around.
And Jordan McFarland, who has coming into today with an RBI yesterday against the Riptide, and an RBI against the Legends, looking to extend that RBI streak to 3 here, as Lewis over at third, Santana at first, and McFarland, who's 0 for 1 on the day, looking to get his first hit.
And this is a big at-bat here for McFarland, probably the biggest of the season for him. His team is down, but the tying run over at first base, if he can at least plate 1 here, even on a sacrifice, I think that'll bode well for the Oaks.
So 2 on and 1 away here in the top of the 4th. Oaks down 3-1, 0-0 pitch, fouled out of play for strike 1. McFarland, fellow Razorback, along with teammate Angus Denton, who made an appearance in yesterday's contest. Takes the 0-1 pitch that drops below the strike zone for ball 1.
Good eye there. Started up at the thigh and ended up dropping low. He read the spin on it, and that's why he ended up holding back. He has a very good eye for the ball, but he just hasn't been finding those spots in the field that have been effective.
Hardly ever strikes out as that pitch runs outside for ball 2. Just 20 years of age. Batted an impressive .500 this past season for the Razorbacks with 6 home runs and 31 RBIs. Lopez fires the 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed for strike 2. I'll bring the count even at 2-2 with 2 on and 1 away. Oaks just have 3 hits and 2 errors, but both of those errors have been costly as they've led to 2 runs scored for the Halos. 2-2 pitch. Hit up the middle to short, over to second, and trying to make the play. Not going to come in time. So Lewis will come home, and the Oaks trim the deficit to 1 as they're down 3-2 here in the top of the 4th.
Yeah, nice RBI fielder's choice there. That's really not bad if you're the Oaks, because that almost is the same thing as a sacrifice. The only difference is instead of Santana on the base paths, you have McFarland, which is a pretty even trade-off nonetheless.
Yeah, McFarland, a speedy runner, also has a good eye for back pick attempts and pickoff attempts, stolen bases. Zane Willems will step in and quickly swing and foul that back for strike 1. Willems 0 for 1 with a fly out to the catcher in the second for the Texas Tech Raider. Has a home run on the season for himself, as well as a huge 2 RBI double in yesterday's contest as he hits that one past into right shallow for a base hit. So McFarland will come around to second, and Willems gets on base as well.
Now batting number 24, Juan
Willems
Gonzalez.
reached for that one, able to get into shallow right under the glove of Duarte at first. And now there's going to be a conversation at the mound here. We'll see if they pull Lopez, and they will.
So Lopez's day is done. He pitched 3 2/3 inning, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. We'll take a short break. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. 2 on and 2 away, still in the top of the 4th. Jacob Lopez's day on the mound for the Halos is done, and Anthony Acosta will make his first appearance of the day. He sets and fires the 0-0 pitch. Gonzalez hits that one into the glove of Tillman in center, and that'll do it for the top of the 4th. So the Oaks leave 2 on base, but do manage 1 run on 2 hits and no errors. And they're down 3-2 as we're through 3.5 here at Ventura College. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Three to the score here in Ventura College. Oaks down to the Ventura Halos as we're through 3.5. But getting set for the bottom of the 4th. Nick Lacayo in the leadoff spot, the bottom of the order. Blake Schiermonte in the 8th spot on deck. And Arnett Johnson in the hole. Kenny Johnson still on the mound. Fires the 0-0 pitch that runs outside for ball 1. And a little over 3 innings pitched. He's given up 5 hits, 3 runs, 1 of which was earned, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts on the day. 1-0 pitch just drops below the strike zone for ball 2. And quickly, once again, John, he's down in the count.
Yeah, when he's been down in the count, it hasn't boded well. 1 walk and a couple of hits. He needs to work his way back quickly.
Sets and fires the 1-1. That's crushed into left center, into left field. So Lacayo gets things started for the Halos with a leadoff base hit.
Yeah, down 2-0. Johnson tried coming back with a fastball, but it was left over the heart of the plate. And Blake Schiermonte was able to hit that out. Excuse me, Nick Lacayo was able to hit that out into left field.
Blake Schiermonte 0 for 1 on the day, advanced to first on the error from Beam in center.
There's also going to be a pinch hitter here, Jonah. Get that again. Logistically, some of the stuff is kind of hard as we are a away team. It is number 18, but I don't have a name on that number yet. We'll get you who that is in just one moment.
So runner over at first. Johnson fires the 0-0 pitch, runs inside for ball 1. So while we're getting that for you, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Oaks Runner, Fine Transportation, Stephen Joseph, MD, orthopedic surgeon, Cronies, and Jimmy John's. He swings and misses for strike 1.
It's going to be Christopher May, by the way, Jonah. So there we go. That's our pinch hitter for Arnett Johnson in the number 9 spot.
Christopher May from Encino, California. Undecided. Forest College in the fall. Johnson fires the 1-1 pitch that's fouled out of play for strike 2. Halos an impressive 3 runs, 6 hits, and just 1 error as we're still in the bottom of the 4th. Johnson checks off the runner at first. Sets and fires the 1-2 pitch that runs past the glove of Gonzalez and through the gate. So fortunately for the Oaks, Lacayo's only going to get over to second on the wild pitch.
Lacayo was the last out of the last inning. Shiramonte's at second.
That pitch runs outside for ball one. So, excuse me, Shiramonte's over at second. May came in for, or May's coming in for Arnett Johnson here in the bottom of the fourth. Apologies for those miscues. So full count situation here. 3-2 pitch, fouled back to stay alive, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, Johnson working his way back into the count once again, trying to keep these pitches as unhittable as possible, because that's been the biggest problem for him is when he's down in the count or he has those 3 balls up there, he's not shying away from batters, which is good, but he's pitching them in a way that these batters have been able to get around on and scored.
2 for 2 on the day in full count situations. Sets and fires the pitch, swung on and missed for strike 3. So down goes May, and make that the first out of the inning for the Oaks.
Only the first out, but 5 strikeouts on the day for Johnson. He actually hasn't had a bad game. He does have those 5 hits, but only 1 earned run. Though he is down 3-2 and 5 strikeouts with 1 walk. So the control's been there, but it's just been those big hits that the Halos have mustered up that have allowed them to get this lead.
So Shiramonte at second and Rudy Aguilar stepping in for the Halos. 1 for 2 on the day. 0-0 pitch, lays off for ball 1. And Aguilar playing in his home turf. Plays for Ventura College from Santa Clarita, California. So he's used to this field, the winds, everything from the grass to the smell and bees. 1-0 pitch, hit into shallow center, and getting underneath it is Beam to make the catch and out number 2.
Good job here for Johnson on the mound, able to work out of a potential jam that could have come up with that runner at second base. Able to get a couple of batters out with May striking out and Aguilar flying out. And now a best case scenario here is Solis is going to stride out and have a conversation. Oaks have a couple of pitchers warming up in the bullpen. It's hard from our viewpoint to tell you who they are just because where we're situated, the dugout is actually covering, but Johnson's day looks to be done.
It looks like it might be Jacob Flores, but we'll provide you more information when we come back. We'll take a short break. Oaks down 3-2 to the Halos. Kenny Johnson's day is done on the mound in 3 2/3 innings pitched. He gave up 6 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. And it's Jacob Flores, the birthday boy's turn to step onto the mound, looking for some celebrating potentially on a big day. Like to wish him happy 18th birthday. C quickly fires the inside pitch for ball 1. Flores.
Jonah, I think actually he told me on the bus that if he comes in that you are going to sing for him on the air.
Well, I could potentially give him a brief one if there's some stoppage of play. As a beautiful fastball on the outside for strike 1.
Well, I think we'll ask for that stoppage of play just so we can give our...
I'll be happy to sing him a cheer.
Is, Jonah, I'm just worried that we're going to lose all our viewers if you end up doing that.
I think the one thing is you also guaranteed you would provide some a cappella, I believe, as well.
Oh, well, I can't do a cappella with just me.
Flores' curveball just drops inside for ball 2.
We could always have Al Santana do the happy birthday
We could.
song
We could have the Santana sing and pick it up on the crowd mic, potentially. So 1 on, a 2 away for the Halos in the bottom of the 4th. Flores fires the 2-1 pitch upstairs for ball 3.
We have too much fun here, Jonah.
We really do, but that's how it should be. Summer baseball, on the road in particular. And it's a birthday.
It's a birthday occasion.
Yeah, it's a special occasion for Flores.
That's why you should be singing right now.
One of the jokesters on the team. Love having him, especially traveling on the bus. 3-1 pitch, caught on past his glove and past the second base. So coming from third and scoring will be Shiramonte. But the pick to second is not going to come in time. So the Halos lead 4-2 on the RBI single from Provost.
Remember, that run is accredited to Johnson. So even though Flores gave up the hit, the runner on second base was due to Johnson. And just like that, the Halos extend their lead to 2 now.
So Flores nearly grabbed it on the mound, but it got past him as well as the glove of Mayu at short. With Christian Jones stepping in. He's 0 for 1 on the day, struck out in the first and was hit by a pitch in the third. But Provost over at second. Jones stepping in and Michael Tillman on deck as that pitch runs low and outside for ball 1. Flores, the Trojan, the USC Trojan, has been making connections with our statistician Keith Schneider.
Yeah, but begrudgingly. He only does it because he has to.
Sets and fires the 1-0 slider that drops inside for strike 1. Yeah, they certainly have some ties being Trojans. Getting an inside scoop on the team, potentially. But Flores has actually pitched extremely well when he's been inserted, especially against lefty batters. 1-1 slider, cut on and fouled for strike 2.
And Torres already getting warm over in the Oaks bullpen. Solis has told us that he keeps Flores on a short leash. At Rio Mesa High School this past year, under Coach Solis, he did pitch 6-7 innings, but they're keeping him on an inning limit here, trying to rebuild his confidence, of which Solis said that he's lost a little bit, and he's really developed that fastball that he's been used to strike batters out up high.
Quick 1-2 pitch, cut on and missed for strike 3. So down goes Jones, and down goes the 4th inning as the Halos get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We're through 4 full here at Ventura College. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Top of the order for the Oaks, Milo Beam to lead off, Max Weinstein on deck, and Grant Mayu in the hole. The Oaks down 4-2 in the top of the 5th. Anthony Acosta still on the mound. Fires that pitch outside for ball 1. Acosta came in briefly at the end of the 3rd inning for the starter Jacob Lopez. Beam, he's 0 for 1 on the day with an error and a sacrificed bunt. That pitch runs outside for ball 2. But Beam, another one of these Oaks batters that stays patient in the batter's box. Doesn't strike out very often. And now up in the count 3-0.
Yeah, Acosta pitching away from the lefty Beam, and it's faring well for him as he's able to stay patient in the box.
3-0 pitch taken wisely for strike 1. And the Oaks, coming into that 3-0 count, were 0-5 swinging on 3-0 counts. 3-1 pitch, hit to the second baseman and tossed over to first for out number 1. Provost able to get it to Duarte and make a play.
Yeah, nice play from Provost, just shifting over to his left a little bit, able to stab that ball and make sure it didn't go into left or into right field, and get the Oaks a leadoff base hit. But nonetheless, good job there.
Weinstein will step in for the Oaks. He's 0 for 1 on the day. But quickly make that 1 for 2 as he grounds one into shallow left for a base hit. So right on cue, Max Weinstein delivers a single for the Oaks in the top of the 5th.
Weinstein has a very interesting approach to his at-bats. He's expecting first pitch fastballs, and that's why you often see him swing at those first pitch strikes. And right there, it paid off.
Yeah, he certainly likes to swing on those first pitch, and this is actually a big game for the Oaks in the CCL Central Division as Mayu lays off that pitch low and outside for ball 1. Currently, the Foresters first in the Central Division at 10-5 and about to play the Blues in a second. Oaks right behind them, half a game behind, 10-6 as the pickoff attempt comes late. But the Halos at 8-6. So with a win, the Oaks could close the gap against the Foresters and extend their gap to the Halos as Mayu watches that pitch drop for strike for ball 2.
Yeah, not a lot of speed in terms of base stealing out on first base for Weinstein, but if he gets a good jump, it is hard to gun him down. Very smart base runner.
Heading the count 2-0, swung and hit past the third base glove for another base hit. So make that the second consecutive. Weinstein and now Grant Mayu delivering, and the Oaks have 2 runners on base with 1 away and Chase Cockrell up at the plate.
Yeah, big at-bat there for Mayu, now representing the tying run at first base. The Oaks able to get a couple on with 1 away, and a big at-bat here in the middle of the order.
Cockrell delivered with an RBI double in the first, looking to do the same here in the top of the 5th. 0-0 pitch, hit over to second, to the second baseman, and that's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. So unfortunately, the Oaks had a brief moment, leave 1 on base on no runs, 2 hits, and 1 errors. They still trail the Halos 4-2. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll take a short break. Apologies to the fans listening for a heads up. I told my broadcasting partner Jonathan Rifkin off air that if Jacob Flores remained on the mound, that he would get a personal happy birthday cheer from myself. So apologies in advance. Here it goes. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Flores. Happy birthday to you as we get set for the bottom of the 5th.
Jonah, dessert's on me tonight for you doing that. That was awesome.
Just a nice way to get things started here in the bottom of the 5th. Apologies to the viewers listening. As Tillman steps in and swings on that pitch for strike one.
You know, if you were on like America's Got Talent or something, you would get the red X as soon as you started singing. Like Simon Cowell will be all over you for that.
I think Paula Jones would appreciate the attempt. 0-1 pitch, runs outside for ball 1. It's the thought that counts. And if Flores' mother or father are listening, I think they would appreciate, as that's a incredibly special on-air
first time
cheer.
in Oaks history.
1-1 pitch drops over the heart of the plate for strike 2. So quickly ahead in the count, 1-2. Oaks still down 4-2 to the Halos on 2 runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors. The Halos 4 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error.
If you like Jonah's singing, by the way, feel free to tweet at us at @Caneo_Oaks, or if you don't.
1-2 pitch, and that is Cockrell making the leaping grab for out number 1. A line drive from Tillman nearly got over the head of Cockrell, but he's able to leap up and make the catch.
Well done. That's why the lengthy third baseman's able to play effectively there. He plays first and third because of his length and his timing, able to make a nice snag out of the air.
Dalton Duarte steps in and swings on the 0-0 pitch for strike 1. Tried to hold it back, but couldn't bring it in time. And yeah, if you like what you heard, you can tweet at me at Jonah_Malkin. 0-1 slider misses the inside corner for ball 1. Or if you'd like to hear Johnny give his own rendition of it, you can tweet at him at Johnny Riff with 1F.
If I get 10 tweets at me, I'll do it. How about that?
That's a deal to me. 1-1 pitch, cut on and missed for strike 2.
Tweet at me at Johnny Riff with 1F at the end on Twitter. If I get 10 tweets, I will sing my own rendition of Happy Birthday to Jacob Flores. I have to get follows too, though. This is a plug.
Sounds like a good deal. As Flores sets and fires the 1-2, swung on and missed for strike 3. So the birthday boy make that 2 strikeouts on the day for Flores.
Yeah, nice fastball there. Able to get Duarte swinging. Flores showing the control on the mound. After that RBI single he gave up back in the 4th inning when he first came in, he's done a very good job with 2 strikeouts and a lineout.
Joey Mendez will step in and take that pitch outside for ball 1. Mendez is 1 for 2 on the day, hit an RBI single in the 3rd, as well as a walk. Lays off that pitch for ball 2. Fresno State, California. Plays his college ball at Fresno State. But he's from Saugus, California. 2-0 pitch, catches the inside for strike 1. Mendez also came around for a run scored in the 2nd. As he fouls that one out of play to bring the count even at 2-2.
To say, Jonah, it's a very nice setting right here now with the sun behind us. Kind of just veering over the field. It gives it this nice glow. And the Oaks wearing their baby blues today. Almost kind of like a cartoonish look in the field. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a quiet day here in Ventura. But nonetheless, a fairly good showing from both the Halos fans. As that 2-2 pitch clips the arm of Mendez, and he'll be walked over to first.
Yeah, just as Flores was settling in, unfortunately he couldn't find the control on that one on the 2-2 pitches. Solis will probably pull him here, but nonetheless.
Yeah, it certainly looks like he might. Solis, this is a common theme. He likes to walk over to his pitchers in 2-out situations. And his day will be done. So in 1 full inning, the birthday boy registers 2 strikeouts And we'll take a short break as we'll introduce you to the new pitcher who'll step onto the mound. Oaks down 4-2. How many appearances does Torres have? This is 4. Joe Torres on the mound for the Oaks, making his 4th appearance of the season. Nick Lacayo in a 2-out situation. Stepping in for the Halos, he's 0 for 2 on the day with an RBI, but did advance on base because of an error, which was the first error by the Oaks that led to the first run for the Halos back in the 2nd. Runner at first. Torres takes the sign from Gonzalez. Sets and fires the 0-0 pitch. That drops and now make that 0-1. Torres, college ball, Glendale Community College. 5.52 ERA, but an impressive and dangerous slider that he's utilized tremendously this season for the Oaks.
And he's been very effective as an Oaks reliever as well, one of the best.
0-1 slider once again fouled out of play for strike 2. And one of the things that makes this slider so dangerous is it starts on the inside part of the plate for right-handers, but by the time they're looking to swing at it, it's a foot away on the opposite side, so just a brutal slide.
Not only that, Jonah, the way that he releases it, it almost comes off like a fastball. And once these batters commit, there's no going back.
Mendez over at first. 0-2 pitch popped out of play, so we'll do it again. So Mendez over at first, thanks to being hit by the pitch from Flores. Lacayo stepping in, Blake Shirmonte on deck if we get that far. So 0-2 count, 1 on and 2 away. Runner's gonna go. Gonzalez to Weinstein is not gonna get there. It's actually gonna go past Weinstein. Tough to see from the vantage point. So Mendez, successful stolen base. That's the first successful stolen base for the Halos today.
And a rare one for a runner against Gonzalez. He had the good throw, but unfortunately, or he had the good jump up, but the throw just couldn't get into Weinstein's glove over at second base.
So Lacayo took that pitch low for ball 1. The count's 1-2. Shakes his bat over his head. Torres checks the runner at second. Fires the 1-2 low in the inside for ball 2. And Torres doesn't normally pitch it inside. He likes to throw either his fastball or his slider more on the outside of the plate. But looking to change things up here and end this inning. Checks the runner at second. Takes a sign from Gonzalez and fires the 3-2 pitch. Cut on. And still, and that just dropped below the strike zone for ball 3. So a little confusion there. Lacayo nearly fully swung on that one, but I guess able to check his swing for ball 3. So full count situation. That's the 6th of the day for the Halos. And a 4-2 ball game. Payoff pitch runs low in the ground past the glove of Gonzalez. And that's going to bring runners on the corners on first and third. Not to mention that's Torres' first walk of the day. So Lacayo over at first and Mendez at third. With Blake Shearmonte coming up. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a single in the 4th. Advanced to second on the wild pitch, but came around to score, and he also has an RBI because of the second error from the Oaks. As we mentioned, both the Oaks have costly 2 errors, both of which have led to runs for the Halos. So runners on first and third. 0-0 pitch, runs below the strike zone for ball 1. Shearmonte from Moore Park, California. Undecided where he's going to play in the fall. Did play at Yavapai Community College this past season. Looking to take his talents elsewhere. 1-0 pitch from Torres. Right over the outside of the plate for strike 1. 2 on and 2 away situation for the Halos. A situation that the Oaks have thrived in typically this season, but hoping for a less favorable outcome for the Halos as the back pick attempt comes late over to first. And Shearmonte, actually played at Moore Park College last 2 seasons. We appreciate David Beam calling us out on Twitter as that pitch is cut on.
He didn't call us out. He called you out.
Well,
Jonah_Malkin singing a big thumbs down. I agree with you, Mr. Beam, by the way. So
I wasn't trying to
I told him
bring
not
out my
to
best
do it,
voice.
But I told him if he did it, I would buy him dessert tonight. But, you know.
I didn't want to bring out my best voice on the broadcast.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that you're going to sing the national anthem at the next home game, Jonah?
If they offer it to me, runner's going to go and fouled out a play. Well, David, if you come to Sparky Anderson Field at some point and are looking for a more in-person rendition of that, I can certainly hope to rectify that thumbs down remark.
I don't know, man.
Try and earn your favor here.
I think you should quit while you're behind now, Jonah, and cut your losses while you can.
Probably a better idea for me.
As your friend and broadcasting partner, that is my advice.
So Shearmonte down in the count, 1-2. Runner is going to go but hold back. Fouled out of play, so we'll do it again. Apologies once again to any of those viewers who concurred with David's sentiment and didn't appreciate it.
I don't think he didn't appreciate it.
You're entitled to feel that way. That's okay. We like honesty. But back to baseball here as Joey Mendez over at third, Lacayo at first. Shearmonte in a 1-2 count with 2 away here in the top of the bottom of the 5th. Oaks still down 4-2. But 2 of those runs have come on 2 errors for the Halos. Pack pick attempt once again comes late. The Halos now have 7 hits on 4 runs. And the last time these 2 teams met, they had an impressive 15 hits in that 7-6 victory over the Halos at Sparky Anderson Field. As Torres fires the 1-2 that's fouled back for the 5th 1-2 count. So if you want to follow the team, remember to follow on oaksbaseball.org or simulcast on YouTube. Or tweet at @Conejo_Oaks. Runner's going to go, but it's fouled out of play once again. This is the 6th 1-2 pitch count coming for Torres.
This is one of those pitcher-batter duels.
Torres trying to get the upper hand, still ahead in the count 1-2, but Chiaramonte has done a nice job fighting him off. He's played, as I mentioned, for the Moore Park College Raiders. Had 14 hits, 4 RBIs, .215 batting percentage on the season as he fouls the 1-2 pitch again. So the 7th 1-2 pitch approaching here in the bottom of the 5th.
Torres doing a good job not shying away, but he does still have a couple pitches to waste if he so chooses to. Still ahead in the count 1-2. Just really going at Blake Chiaramonte in this at-bat.
Yeah, Chiaramonte looking for a ball. It also requires so much focus, Johnny, when you're down in the count, knowing you don't want to strike out and just stay alive. So we'll do it again. 7th 1-2 pitch. Runner's going to go. Popped in the infield. Mayu's going to call for it and make the catch for out number 2. So the Halos leave 2 on no runs, 1 hit, and no errors, and they lead 4-2 over the Oaks. As we're through 5 full of Ventura College, you're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a short break.
Coming out to 3.
5, 6, and 7 batters, excuse me, here. As we get set for the top of the 6th, Brandon Lewis to step in and lead off. Watches that pitch drop out inside for ball 1. Lewis 1 for 2 on the day with a double in the 4th. Ball is a ground out as he swings and misses for strike 1. Oaks still down 4-2. Had an opportunity in the 5th inning, left 2 runners on base, but couldn't capitalize. The 1-2 pitch fouled out of play for strike 2. Cody Santana on deck. Jordan McFarland in the hole to get things started for the Oaks in the top of the 6th. Lewis watches that pitch run in the ground for ball 2. So 2-2 the count. For the Pierce College product from La Cañada, California. Meanwhile, Anthony Acosta still on the mound for the Halos. He's just given up 2 hits on the day in limited time. But he's just the 2nd pitcher on the mound for the Halos He sets and fires the 2-2 pitch that's fouled out of play again. So both batters from both teams doing a nice job trying to fight off pitches. So 2-2 the count. Acosta sets and fires the pitch that runs up and inside to bring the count full at 3-2. Lewis was 1 for 4 against these two teams the last time they played with an RBI as well as a run scored. Looking to contribute here. The 3-2 pitch grounded over to short. Making a play on it over to first is Aguilar for out number 1. So down goes Lewis for the first out of the inning, and Cody Santana stepping up to the plate. 0 for 1 on the day, struck out in the second, but did a nice job staying patient as he was walked over to first in the fourth for the Hawaii Pacific Shark. 0-0 pitch comes in, runs outside for ball 1. Santana, All-American at Hawaii Pacific. Hasn't gone off to the best start today, though, as the 1-0 pitch chopped in the middle to short. The play to first from Aguilar once again for out number 2. So back-to-back groundouts to short. Puts 2 away quickly here for the Oaks in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, Costa seemingly started off the struggle when he was put in back in the 4th inning, but after a 2-hit 5th inning for the Oaks where they stranded both runners on base, he settled in here and is able to retire most of these batters.
McFarland will sets in and watches that pitch run upstairs for ball 1. McFarland, the Arkansas Razorback, 0 for 2 on the day with a ground out and advance because of the fielder's choice. Pops that one out of play for strike 1. McFarland, a contact hitter, likes to crowd the plate. As we've mentioned, doesn't strike out very often. Always tests the opposing pitchers. 1-1 pitch, blooped into shallow right for a base hit. So McFarland once again adding to the Oaks' 2-out situation success as he gets on base on the floater over to shallow right.
And I think that the guy that you want in is Zane Willems, the number 8 hitter stepping in this situation, representing the tying run. He only has 1 home run on the season, but a lot of pop in that bat. He can at least see the field pretty well, and I would expect him to at least make good contact with a pitch, should it be one that he likes.
The Texas Tech Raider, Zane Willems, stepping in, looking to capitalize here as he takes that pitch upstairs for ball 1. Willems 1 for 2 as well with a single and a flyout. McFarland over at first and Juan Gonzalez on deck. Willems came into this game feeling really good about himself. Walked in with a button-down blue shirt that was half open. Takes that pitch upstairs for ball 2. And he's just such a free-flowing personality. Loves his Texas roots and the culture there. It's the 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed for strike 1.
Beautiful pitch right there, following on a high ball. A fastball in the outside corner, slapping the glove of Lakaya, and Willems just swung right through the middle of it.
2-1 the count. Acosta fires it in. It's fouled back to bring the count even at 2-2. Willems looked a little upset with himself after swinging on that pitch. And that's what good batters do. They get upset when they know they should have held back on certain pitches. 2-2 pitch, fouled out of play once again.
He's really battling here. That was a good pitch. Start up at the knees, drops below the knees, and Willems already committed to it, but able to at least get the end of the barrel of the bat on it and get it out of play, staying alive at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Runner's going to go. McFarland goes. And Lacayo's not even going to test him. So that's a successful stolen base for McFarland. That's the first one of the day as Willems took that pitch for ball 3. Full count. 1 on and 2 away. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Runs upstairs for ball 4. So a single from McFarland and a walk from Willems puts 2 runners on base for the Oaks.
Yeah, nice take there from the Texas Tech catcher playing DH in today's game, and now Juan Gonzalez stepping in, and someone who can really get that ball deep into the field. And with some uphill climbing here for the outfielders if it's her college, if he could rope run, I definitely could see Willems, definitely McFarland coming in, but Willems over at first also coming in and tying this game.
He certainly has the strength to do it as he hit a double in the 3rd. So 2 on and 2 away. 1-0 pitch, cut on and missed for strike 1. Gonzalez 1 for 2. As I mentioned, a double in the 3rd, but flew out to center in the 4th. With McFarland at second and Willems over at first. Costa desperately trying to get out of this inning. Sets and fires the 0-1 pitch upstairs and away for ball 1.
That's good for the Oaks if they can work Acosta here in this one. Tire him out a little bit. Maybe get under his skin with these base runners with 2 away, and that'll bode well in this inning for them.
Gonzalez looking to deliver the tying run here as he swings and misses on the 1-1 pitch for 1-2. This could be the second time, or this is the second time the Oaks have had 2 runners on base in a 2-out situation, but they weren't able to do anything about it in the 4th. Trying to capitalize here in the 6th. Checks the runner at second, fires the 1-2 pitch, low for ball 2.
That's that patience from Gonzalez. It fares well for him, and you saw right there he thought about going, took that step forward, but held back with the bat, able to keep it at bay on his shoulders and take that forward ball.
Acosta checks the runner at second, sets and fires the 2-2 pitch, cut on and missed for strike 3. So unfortunately the Oaks leave 2 on no runs, 1 hit, and 1 error, and they're still down 4-2 as we're through 5.5 here in Ventura College. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back.
From my
Ninth batter for the Halos. Arnett Johnson to lead off. Sorry, Christopher May to lead off. Rudy Aguilar on deck, and Dayton Provost in the holes. Torres fires that slider outside for ball 1. Give you a little lay of the land for the Oaks. A couple changes in the infield. Grant Mayu at third. Sam Shakin coming in for Chase Cockrell at short. Weinstein still at second. Santana still at first. 1-0 pitch. Hit into left. And that's going to drop. McFarland made a grab, couldn't get there. And that's a leadoff double for Christopher May.
Yeah, McFarland thought that he could get a handle on it, but unfortunately, he couldn't. And that's a good way, again, for the Halos to begin off an inning. This is now the 5th time in 6 innings that they've gotten a leadoff runner on here, and the 2nd time it's been in scoring position.
Now I'll bring up Rudy Aguilar, but to finish the outfield, so Jordan McFarland over at left, Milo Beam in center, Brandon Lewis at right. With Joe Torres on the mound and Juan Gonzalez behind the dish. As Rudy Aguilar steps in and fouls that one out of play for strike 1. Aguilar 1 for 3. A fly out, a strikeout. Did get on base, but was caught stealing for Gonzalez's 7th successful caught batter of the season. As Torres fires the 0-1 outside for ball 1. Arnett Johnson got things. Christopher May got things started off for the Halos with a leadoff double. And the Halos looking to extend their lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Torres checks the runner at second, fires the 1-1 pitch that runs upstairs for ball 1. Torres making his first appearance against the Halos. He's played against the Blues as well as the Coastal Cubs. But Solis trusting him in this big series as he fires the low slider for ball 3.
That one just missing either a little bit low or a little bit inside. It looked to be over the plate, so probably just a little bit low. That's one of those calls that could go either way. But today, the pitcher's just not getting it.
Oaks capping off their 8-game stretch today against the Ventura Halos before they'll finally get their first day off in 8 days. The 3-1 pitch cut on and missed for strike 2. So they get the day off Wednesday and start a 3-game series against the Pacific Union Capitalists at Sparky Anderson Field going through Thursday, Friday, and Saturday before they'll be back here to face the Halos again on Sunday. So full count situation here, 1 on and no away. Swung on and missed for strike 3, and that's Torres' first strikeout of the day.
Nice pitch there, bounce it back 3-1 through 2 low sliders. Both got Aguilar swinging, and that's a good way for Torres to come back. Utilize that slider, by far his most effective pitch, and why he's such a phenomenal pitcher out of the bullpen.
And Dayton Provost, one of the leaders, the hitting leaders of the CCL, batting around 500 on the season. 2 for 3 in this one with an RBI, a run scored. As he steps in and looking to convert here as he fouls that one back for strike 1. He did strike out in the first, but currently number 1 in the CCL in hitting. And 2 for 3 on the day. So now make that 1 on and 1 away. Torres down 0-1. Sets and fires the pitch that's fouled back for strike 2. Christian Jones on deck. Michael Tillman in the hole if we get that far. Provost plays his college ball at College of the Canyons. Torres will regroup and fire the 0-2 slider. That's cut on and missed for strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts from Torres puts 2 away.
Yeah, nice fastball on the outside part of the plate. Able to swing on it was Provost after the 2 sliders were thrown from Torres, and a good job keeping the control for Joe as Solis strides out to the mound. We'll see if they give him this last out or if they call it into the bullpen.
So once again, Solis heading over to the mound in a 2-out situation to speak with his pitcher. And it seems like Gonzalez will come and Torres' day will be done and Jackson Simonsgaard will step in. But we'll take a short break here at Ventura College. Oaks still down 4-2. Joe Torres' day is done in 1 inning pitched. He gave up just 1 hit, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Jackson Simonsgaard stepping onto the mound for the Oaks. And he's played well, typically inserted to face off against left-handed batters. He played extremely well against the Foresters, as well as the Legends for the Oxnard Community College product. And he'll get a shot here against Christian Jones as he sets and fires the fastball over the heart of the plate for strike 1.
He actually started his career at Ventura College, so now a familiar territory for the lefty, back on the mound at his original home in Ventura.
Ahead in the count 1-2. May still over at second. And Christian Jones, who's 0 for 2 on the day, lays off that pitch for ball 1. His 2 strikeouts, or he was struck out twice, but hit by a pitch in the 3rd for the Washington Husky. Waves that bat over his head. Simonsgaard gets the sign from Gonzalez, checks the runner at second, and fires the 1-1 inside for ball 2.
Simonsgaard's been a lot better this season, now in his 3rd year with the Oaks, than he has been in the past. His control is phenomenal now. His confidence he displays on the mound is unbelievable, and he's been going right at batters. Been one of the most effective Oaks relief pitchers this season.
Yeah, and that's why Coach Solis has utilized him more recently because of his comfort level on the mound, and I guess that's what happens when you played with the same team and under the same coach for 3 seasons. You start to develop a relationship and a comfort and a trust. And clearly, Solis trusts Simonsgaard here in a big moment in the bottom of the 6th in a tight 4-2 game against CCL Central Division foe, the Ventura Halos. Sets and fires the 2-1. Runner's going to go. Gonzalez to third. Tamayo is safe. Not going to get there, and Gonzalez nearly picked him off, but May did a nice job running through all the way to third.
Nice pitch, too, for Simonsgaard, able to paint the outside corner and get a called strike as well. So, yeah, they had that runner get over to third, but now you have a 2-2 count with 2 away.
Simonsgaard looking for damage control, trying not to let up another run as the 2-2 pitch drops in the strike zone for strike 3. So down goes Jones looking on the strikeout, and the Oaks still down 4-2 after the Halos left 1 on base on no runs, 1 hit, and 1 error. We're through 6 full here at Ventura College. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV, simulcast on YouTube. We'll take a short break.
No beam.
Go, Milo.
Go, Milos. Good job, kid. I'm back.
Welcome back, everybody, to Ventura College as we get set for the top of the 7th. My name is Jonah Malkin. Give it to Johnny Rifkin right there.
Thanks, Jonah, as Milo Beam steps in and ropes one in the shallow center field on the first pitch he sees to get the Oaks with a leadoff base hit. Didn't give you much time to breathe. Oaks down 4-2 here, but a little breath of life from the Purdue Boilermaker in the top of the order. Now 1 for 3 on the day with the sacrifice. He reached on an error back in the first and a ground out, as well as that single. Max Weinstein stepping in now as Anthony Acosta is still on the mound for the Halos. Max Weinstein represents the tying run as the first pitch from Acosta comes in low for ball 1. 4 runs on 8 hits, 1 error for the Halos. 2 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for the Oaks, and that's the difference right there. That error that has allowed the Halos to take that 4-2 lead. 1-0 count to the Cal Lutheran product, sporting the purple CLU helmet. As the 1-0 pitch is dealt and skied into right center field, running back on it is Tillman, and it's going to drop on the hill and roll to the wall. Rounding third and coming home is Bean. Rounding second and going to third is Weinstein. The throw is going to be cut off. And Max Weinstein is in with an RBI triple to give the Oaks a breath of life here. 4-3, the Halos still lead, but the Oaks have the tying runner 90 feet away from home with Grant Mayu up to the plate.
Max Weinstein once again delivering for the Oaks. As we've mentioned, the clutchest player for the Oaks and maybe in the CCL puts that on full display once again.
You rope that one right up the hill. There's a hill that starts out in right field and goes all the way up to center, and it's hard for outfielders to get to it. Right there, Weinstein able to utilize it as Mayu steps in and takes a first pitch ball. On the day for the San Diego State Aztec, 1 for 2 with a walk-a run scored, a line out, and a single, but he was out on a 4-6-3 double play thereafter. Oaks here in the 7th, trying to get back in this one, now down 4-3 as the 1-0 pitch is dealt in the dirt for ball 2. Oaks riding a 3-game winning streak. The Foresters and the Blues are in full swing now. We're going to update you on that score in just a minute. It's a big game, and I'll tell you why after this pitch as Acosta toes the rubber. Pearson fires the 2-0 pitch below the knees for ball number 3. The Foresters are a half game up on the Oaks right now, in first place in the CCL Central. The Halos are a game and a half behind the Oaks for second place in the CCL Central as the 3-0 pitch runs inside for ball 4. 4 straight pitches puts Mayu at first base. The second walk on the day for Acosta, the 5th collectively for the Halos as the go-ahead run now at first for Chase Cockrow. No, Sam Shakin's going to come in, at a pinch hit here. He came in the field.
Correction, now batting number 25.
Shakin from Valparaiso, so stepping in yesterday's game in the number 9 spot. Went 2 for 4, but reached base all 4 times he was up. 2 errors, a double, and a single, resulting in 3 runs and a stolen base as well. Wonderful player to watch for the Oaks. By the way, the Foresters are up 4-0 over the Blues. If the Oaks and the Foresters both win, the Oaks will still be a half game behind them for first place in the CCL Central. The first pitch in the Shakin is taken inside for ball 1. Acosta really shaken up now. He's dealt 5 straight balls after giving up that RBI triple to Max Weinstein to bring the Oaks within 1. Mayu at first base does possess speed, 4 for 4 and stolen bases on the season. The 1-0 pitch is a 3-hopper over to short. Aguilar gets it over to second. Provost over to first. In time for the 6-4-3 double play, but that will score the tying run. A productive double play if I've ever seen one here for the Oaks. 2 runs around in the inning, and we're all knotted up here at 4 in the top of the 7th inning for Brandon Lewis.
Yeah, and really that's all you could have asked for if you're Solis. Even though you give up that double play, you tie the game on base on back-to-back hits from Beam and Weinstein. Nice job for the Oaks.
Brandon Lewis steps in now and cracks the first pitch he sees over to third. Shiramonte gets it. Lewis tries to beat it up, but can't get there as Shiramonte tosses him out by a step. Quick 7th, but the Oaks make quick work, putting 2 runs up on the board on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're all knotted up at 4 here from Ventura College. You're watching Oaks baseball on KDTV. 7th inning stretch time. Grab a cold beverage and a hot dog and enjoy a tight ball game into the bottom of the 7th inning. We'll be right back. Hope you enjoyed your 7th inning stretch. We sure did. Back here in the bottom of the 7th inning, a 4-4 ball game, and Ty Harper now stepping onto the mound for the Oaks in place of Jackson Simonsgard, who went a third of an inning. Got a strikeout, no runs, no walks, no hits, as the first pitch into Tillman is roped into left field for another leadoff single. Tillman is now 2 for 4 on the day with 2 leadoff hits. Back in the second and now in the seventh. 1 pitch, 1 on here for Ty Harper now on the mound from Texas Tech. Looking to keep the score tied and give his offense an opportunity in the 8th to get the lead as Dalton Duarte steps in, 1 for 3 on the day, and the first pitch he sees is low and away for ball 1. Harper now mostly coming out of the bullpen. He was last seen back against the Barons in the 4-2 loss last Wednesday, back on June 21st, as the 1-0 pitch is ripped out and fouled for strike number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody away. 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for the Oaks. 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 error from the Halos. Almost identical line here. Runner on first base and Michael Tillman, nobody away, 1-1 count. And Harper now comes set on the rubber. Takes the sign from Gonzalez and deals the pitch in the dirt behind Gonzalez, running to second on the wild pitch is Tillman. And the count is 2-1 now with a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, this is not the way you want to start off the bottom of the 7th. If you're the Oaks, you just fought your way back to put 2 more on the runs and quickly a leadoff single on the wild pitch. Runner at second already with nobody away. Not the most ideal start if you're Ty Harpinell, Coach Solis and the Oaks.
Tillman at second, not a lot of speed, but a smart base runner. As Dalton Duarte looks to rope him in and take the lead once again. 4-4 a score. Harpinell checks the runner. Pearson fires the 2-1 pitch outside for ball number 3. Now down in the count is Harpinell. Oaks have a couple of righties warming up. It looks like Evan McMillan from UC Irvine tossing some in the bullpen. 3 balls, 1 strike, nobody away. Runner on second. Harper now deals a strike on the outside corner to bring the count full now at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, this is a crucial at bat right here. Batter that Harpinell's facing. This would be huge for him if he can strike him out.
3-2-0 on the board as Harper now checks the runner at second, and payoff pitch is swung and missed for strike 3. That was in the dirt, so Gonzalez will toss it over Santana. Strikeout and then a 2-3 put out in the books. Harper now, first strikeout on the day for him. And there's 1 away now, coming down from 3-1. The strikeout Duarte as Joey Mendez steps in. On the day for Mendez, 1 for 1. He was walked, scored, had an RBI single in the 3rd, and was hit by a pitch in the 5th inning, but he was stranded on 3rd after advancing from 2nd on a wild pitch. Harper now checks the runner at 2nd and deals the first pitch. Swung on and missed for strike number 1. Feel free to tweet at us at Caneo_Oaks. He's at Jonah_Malkin. I'm at Johnny Riff with 1 F at the end. Chat with us in the live chat box on the Twitter feed as well, as Harper now comes set, toes the rubber, kicks and fires the 0-1 pitch. Just a little low to even the count at 1-1. 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for the Oaks. 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Halos. One of 2 times this week that the teams will be duking it out here at Ventura College as Harper now deals the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike number 2. A beauty off speeder, getting Mendez swinging 1-2 the count. Oaks will play the Halos on Sunday again back here at Ventura. 12 o'clock start time. That could change. It still is a little bit up in there. It says TBA on the schedule. We'll keep it up there until it's officially confirmed. 1-2 pitch from Harper now is dealt in the dirt. Glove by Gonzalez. Evens the count at 2-2. Lay of the land here for you for the Oaks. Out and right, Brandon Lewis, and center Milo Beam, and left Jordan McFarland. Grant Mayu's at 3rd, Sam Shakins at short, Max Weinstein at 2nd. And over at first base, Cody Santana behind the dish, Juan Gonzalez, and Ty Harper now, the 5th Oaks pitcher on the mound. Robbie Medell, the Oaks closer, is available for today's game. He's 5 for 5 on the season in saves, should that situation become present. The 2-2 pitch is ripped out and fouled towards 3rd base, and we'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and hopefully for the Oaks, if this game can stay tied, Coach DeLees may very well utilize him down the stretch of this one.
If the Oaks can take a small lead, Medell is only 3 saves away from tying the CCO record since 2011. That's as far back as the records that we have goes. The 2-2 pitch, a chopped foul again. But we're trying to confirm that indeed the record forever in the CCL is 8. If that is indeed the case, then Robbie Medell is only 3 saves away from tying it already, and we still have a month of the season to go. As there's a conversation on the mound between Harpenau and Gonzalez. But no Medell yet in the bullpen, as it's just McMillan, who the Oaks threw yesterday in an inning. No stat line for him in that inning pitch, which is a good sign. No walks, no strikeouts, no hits, no runs. As the righty from Texas Tech steps back in, checks the runner at second. Pearson fires the 2-2 pitch, a curveball waved at and missed. For strike 3, down goes Mendez. 2 consecutive strikeouts now for Harpenau. And that nasty curveball gets him swinging.
Yeah, and what once was a one-on and nobody away situation, quickly 1-on and 2 away situation. So great job from Harpenau working back and delivering 2 beautiful strikeouts.
Michael Tillman led off the inning with a single. Then Duarte struck out, but Tillman advanced on a wild pitch, and Mendez also struck out. As Nick Lakaya steps in and cracks one over to third. Mayu gloves it and tosses it over to Santana. Over at first base for out number 3. So after the leadoff single, the Halos get no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We're through. 7 full here from Ventura College, all knotted up at 4. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV, simulcasted onto YouTube. Fasten your seatbelts because it's a tight one, folks. We're going down to the wire. We'll be right back. Cody Santana leads things off here for the Oaks in the number 6 spot. 4-4 our score. Welcome back, everybody. Jonah Malkin and myself. Jonathan Rifkind, as a new pitcher on the mound from Brown University, Calvin Ferris steps in place of Anthony Acosta as the righty deals to Santana lefty. Popped into foul territory over by left field. Running back on it is Shiramonte, but it's going to be caught by May out there in left for out number 1. By the way, for Santana before that at bat, 0 for 2 with a walk. Now he's 0 for 3. Just kidding, it was not caught. It was hard to see in our viewpoint. It looked like it was caught, but you know, it's just one of those days, I guess, huh? So strike 1 to Santana. Once again, we were blocked by the dugout of the Halos. It looked like May came up with it, but nonetheless, I hope Santana didn't hear me in the batter's box because he's probably laughing at me right now. 0-1 pitch in is a 2-hopper over to second. Provost gets it and he'll fire it over to first. Now for out number 1 in the field. Santana 0 for 3 on the day with a walk. And that's going to bring up McFarland on the day. 1 for 3 with the ground out, an RBI fielder's choice, and a single, but he was caught stealing back in the 6th. Willems on deck, Gonzalez in the hole, 4-4 our score. As Ferris deals the first pitch, taken inside for strike number 1. By the way, for Anthony Acosta, who pitched 3 1/3 innings, went those strong with 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks, and a strikeout. The 0-1 pitch is taken upstairs and away for ball 1. 1-1 count to the Arkansas Razorback. 1 for 3 on the day with a big RBI. That tied the game. 1-1 pitch is a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 2. 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 error for the Halos. 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for the Oaks. As the sun begins to further set behind us and the shadows get longer here in Ventura. Wind continues to blow out to center. 2-1 pitch in is roped into left but foul for strike number 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. 4-4 ball game here in the top of the 8th. Oaks and the Halos duking out for the 3rd time of the season. Season series is split 1-1 thus far. And it's always a tight one here at Ventura College as time is called behind the plate. Lakaya will trot out and have a conversation with Ferris. Quick one though, just an exchange of words. Maybe a pitch that is not within the repertoire of signs that Lakaya has.
Go, Jordan.
McFarland good at making contact as the 2-2 pitch is dealt in from Ferris, and it's waved at and missed for strike 3, a low cut breaking ball. First strikeout on the day for Ferris, and now there are 2 away for Zane Willems on the day.
Yeah, and Ferris has done a nice job so far. Delivered some beautiful inside pitches and then a low breaking ball on the outside that catches McFarland swinging. He's done a nice job on the mound for the Halos so far.
Willems 1 for 2 on the day with a pop out back to the pitcher, a single and a walk as Ferris deals the first pitch in the dirt, blocked by Lakaya, but there's no runners on base, not that it matters. 1-0 the count. 2-year vet from Alvin Community College headed to Texas Tech. Was a 2-way player, a pitcher and a catcher. Had Tommy John after his freshman year at Alvin College. Now just a catcher, and a very good one at that. A lot of pop in his bat, sees the field very well, and has a great arm behind the plate. The 1-0 pitch is taken upstairs for ball 2. Band still playing loudly over into the football field to our right here at Ventura College. Lively summer scene here. The 2-0 pitch is waved into shallow right center field, running back on his Provost. And he'll make the catch for out number 3. Oaks go down in short order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We're through. 7.5 here from Ventura College. 4-4 our scorers. We hit the break. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Ty Harper now still on the mound here for the Oaks in his 2nd inning of work. 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for the Halos. Welcome back, everybody. Jonah Malkin, myself, Jonathan Rifkin, happy to be with you on a lovely Tuesday evening in Ventura, California. 4-4 our score as Blake Shiramonte steps in on the day, 1 for 3, but he reached on air and has an RBI as well as he takes a fastball for a strike. He reached on air back in the second. Singled, advanced the second on a wild pitch, and then scored in the fourth and popped out to short back in the fifth. Harper now deals, though, 1 pitch at the knees for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes. Harper now really going at these batters. He has 2 strikeouts on the day. Only has given up 1 hit. And overall, a good first inning for him. Now bring that into the second inning of his day. As he comes set and fires, though, 2 pitch. Swung and a miss for strike 3. Down goes Shiramonte. 3 strikeouts now on the day for Harper now. That's going to bring up Christopher May in the number 9 spot. 1 for 2 on the day with a double, a stolen base, but he was left on third thereafter and a strikeout swing back in the 4th inning. Coming in as the pinch hitter for Arnett Johnson, who went 0 for 1 in his stint in the number 9 spot. May steps in, waves that bat over his right shoulder. Harper now comes set and deals a curveball that just misses outside for ball 1.
Wow, that was a nasty curveball, though. It missed the strike zone. If that would have clipped the outside, that would have been brutal. Just a huge break on that one.
1-0 in from Harper now is grounded over the mound into center field for a single. May gets on here for the Halos. They haven't hit in every inning except for the 5th. They've done a good job seeing the field here. That was the 10th hit on the day for the Halos, and they have the go-ahead run on first base, with Rudy Aguilar in the top of the order stepping in. 1 for 4 on the day with a pair of strikeouts, a flyout, and a single back in the first, but he was caught stealing thereafter.
Yeah, and that's just the 2nd time in 7 innings where they didn't get a guy on base.
The 1-0 pitch is cut on and missed for strike number 1.
Getting a guy on base for the leadoff hitter.
4 runs, 10 hits, an error here for the Halos. 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for the Oaks. As Harper now comes set, the 1-0 pitch is taken on the inside corner for a strike. That evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Excuse me, 1 ball. Or I guess no balls, 2 strikes, excuse me. As though 2 pitches in the dirt, check swing, appeal, and they're saying he went around for strike 3. Aguilar goes down on strikes. He has reached a trifecta now, struck out 3 times in today's game, 4 for Harper now. And that's going to bring up Dayton Provost in the number 2 spot. 2 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts, a pair of singles, and an RBI. By the way, if Provost strikes out, then the top 3 batters for the Halos would have all stricken out at least 3 times. Aguilar just struck out for his 3rd time. Provost with 2 strikeouts under his belt. And Christian Jones on deck. 0 for 3 as well with 3 strikeouts. As Solis has a conversation on the mound with his infield. Runner on first base in the form of Chris May on a 1-out base hit, and then Aguilar struck out. And now Solis doing some due diligence on the mound with 2 away here. Robbie Medell getting up and stretching now in the Oaks bullpen. Evan McMillan still warming up. 2 away, 1 on, 4-4 our score. Bottom of the 8th as Harper now toes the rubber, comes set. Kicks and fires. The first pitch taken low and outside for ball 1. Forester still up over the Blues 4-0 in a big game there. Foresters win and the Oaks win. The Oaks will still be a half game back out of first place, but the Foresters lose and the Oaks win. The Oaks will take a half game lead. 1-0 pitch is swung and a missed for strike number 1.
Yeah, not to mention the Oaks won't be playing against some other CCL teams or their Central Division teams for a while, so this would be a huge game for them if they can win.
1-1 pitch is in the dirt, backhanded by Gonzalez. 2-1 the count, and as you mentioned, Jonah, the Oaks have a day off tomorrow. Then they start a 3-game series at home against the Pacific Union Capitalists from up north, an interleague game from Thursday to Saturday, and then on Sunday they'll be back at Ventura College to play the Halos. 2-1 pitch is a curveball in the dirt for ball 3. Harpenau has yet to allow a walk in today's game. In his second inning of work, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts, no runs. No walks, runner at first. As he takes the sign from Gonzalez, toes the rubber, comes set. Pearson fires the 3-1 pitch. It's low inside. The peel over to first. They're saying that he held up in time, and that'll be the first walk given up on the day from the Texas Tech Red Raider. 2 on now, 2 away for Christian Jones.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Harpenau thought he might have clipped the bottom right corner of the strike zone, but both umpires thought otherwise.
Jones on the day, struck out in the first, was hit by a pitch in the third, struck out in the fourth, and struck out in the sixth. He's hit the trifecta of strikeouts as the first pitch from Harpenau is foul tipped off of the face mask of Gonzalez. For strike number 1, he shakes it off, and he's okay.
Yeah, not to mention the Oaks dugout shakes that one off too as it came right near the heads of some of them. That could have been close.
0-1 the count. 2 away, 4-4 our score, but runners on first and second now. Over at second is May, on first is Provost. Harpenau comes set, checks the runner at second, and deals the 0-1 pitch low for ball 1. At this time, the Oaks would like to thank their sponsors, Roadrunner Shuttle, for getting the Oaks to and from their away games separately, or excuse me, safely. Separately, I guess, from everybody else. Joseph Sweet, orthopedic surgeon in Oxnard. The 1-0 pitch is waved at and missed. And I guess that's actually the 1-1 pitch, so I'll make that strike 2 now for Harpenau. Cronies Bar and Grill in Newberry Park and Jimmy John's. Every sponsor is a valuable part of the Oaks family. 2 on, 1-2 count. Harpenau checks the runner at second and deals. And it's a pitch waved at and missed in the dirt. Down goes Jones for his 4th strikeout on the game. 5 for Harpenau. And we're out of the 8th inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. 4-4 our score. To the top of the 9th we go. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Juan Gonzalez in the number 9 spot steps up for the Oaks in the top of the 9th inning, all knotted up at 4. Calvin Fair still on the mound as the first pitch to Gonzalez as they chopper over to second. Provost gets it and whips it over to first, but it's bobbled by Duarte. He gets off the back and Gonzalez is able to beat it out for a leadoff runner here for the Oaks. It's a 4-4 game, and that is a huge error if the Oaks can plate him. Going back to the top of the order now, that was a mishandle at first base for the second error on the day for the Halos. And a big at-bat now for Milo Beam in the leadoff spot.
Yeah, and the Oaks will take any error they get if it brings them on base. Perfect way to start off the top of the 9th.
By the way, Jason Oliver from Cal State Bakersfield comes in as a pinch runner as the first pitch in the Beam is taken for a ball. That was a big play, and if the Oaks can capitalize. That could have been the Halos kind of giving away this game if they hold on. A lot of speed out there on the Bates pass. From Oliver is the pickoff attempt. He gets back easily. Milo Beam on the day. 1 for 3 with a sacrifice, a ground out. He reached on error back in the first and a single where he eventually scored.
Hey, man, let's go, kid.
The third run for the Oaks in the 7th. The 1-0 pitch is in, and it's popped up high to right field. Running back on it is Jones with the sun looming. He's able to make the catch as Beam fakes the tag. Excuse me, as Oliver fakes the tag and comes back to first base. 1 away now with the runner on first base. Max Weinstein steps in now on the day, 2 for 3. A fly out to right, a walk, a single in the 5th, and a triple that played a run in the 7th. He came thereafter in to score to tie the game at 4-4. The rally caps for the Oaks are on here. 4-4 our score. Runner on first, 1 away for the Cal Lutheran Superstar. Ferris toes the rubber, deals. Oliver goes. It's taken for a ball. The throw is past the glove of Provost. Rounding second and going to third is Oliver. And just like that, a stolen base and an error leads to an Oaks go-ahead run just 90 feet away from home plate.
And that's why Oliver inserted into the game. He's just so fast. And if you're opposing teams, you have to throw a perfect ball on time to catch him. Goes over the head of the shortstop, and he's able to get all the way to third.
Weinstein now facing a 1-0 count, takes it low and away for ball number 2. Big at-bat here with only 1 away, a runner at third base. Good base running by Oliver as the 2-0 pitch comes in from Ferris, and it's ripped over to short, caught by Aguilar, and he's going to check the runner back to third as he gets Weinstein out at first. The best case scenario here for the Halos. With 2 away and a runner at third base, Grant Mayu's going to come in on the day. 2 for 3 as well with a walk, a run scored, a line out, and 2 singles. 2 away, 4-4 our score. The go-ahead run at third base here as the first pitch into Mayu is taken at the letters for a strike.
Yeah, and if you're Ferris, you got to be real careful, because if you throw one pitch over the head of your catcher, you can be sure with Oliver's speed he'll get there in time.
1-0 pitch, or excuse me, 0-1 pitch is taken at the knees for strike number 2. Mayu showing patience, but maybe a little too much now. As Oliver is on third base, is yet to come home, waiting patiently. The 0-2 pitch is waved at and missed for strike 3. Down goes Mayu. Ferris gets out of the jam. No runs, no hits, an error, and 1 left on base. The Oaks strand the go-ahead run at third base as we hit the break. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. To the bottom of the 9th we go. We'll be right back. 4 ball game. Bottom of the 9th inning for the middle of the order here for the Halos. Evan McMillan comes in for the Oaks, taking the place of Ty Harpenow. And Michael Tillman steps in, getting ready on a 2-for-4 day to swing at the first pitch or take it low for ball 1. Harpenow went 2 innings, gave up 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts in a productive relief outing. Robin Bedell, the Oaks closer, along with a couple of Oaks pitchers stretching out there in the bullpen. As McMillan headed to UC Irvine in the fall, comes set and deals the 1-0 pitch. Waved at and missed for strike number 1.
Yeah, McMillan so efficient now on his pitches. He's able to locate the strike zone well. So he delivers a lot of accurate throws as opposed to some of the erratic ones we were accustomed to seeing earlier in the season, but not so anymore.
1 ball, 1 strike, McMillan deals, and it's foul tipped into the glove of the new catcher. By the way, Jacob Castro coming in for Juan Gonzalez, who was pinch run for back in the top of the 9th inning. 4 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors for the Halos. 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for the Oaks. As Tillman strides back in, digs into the right-handed batter's box. McMillan deals the 1-2 pitch. Check swung outside, called for strike number 3. Down goes Tillman, the first strikeout on the day for McMillan. 1 away for Dalton Duarte. In the number 5 spot on the day, 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. And the Oaks pitchers have been very successful striking out Halo batters today. Johnson had 5, Flores had 2, Torres had 3, Simons Gard had 1. Harper now had 5, and McMillan now with 1 as the first pitch to Duarte is swung and missed for strike number 1.
Yeah, now McMillan, a very productive pitcher for the Oaks.
0-1 pitch, swung and missed. 0-2 now. The Oaks have combined for 16 strikeouts in today's game, which is a season high. Doing a very good job controlling. Only 3 walks for the Oaks pitchers as McMillan comes set and fires the 0-2 pitch. A 2-seamer waved at and missed for strike 3. Down goes Duarte, and going back to the last inning, the Oaks have now struck out 4 of the last 5 batters and 6 of the last 8.
All right, let's go, McMillan. Let's go, kid.
Joey Mendez steps in now. 1 for 3 on the day as he whips one into left field. Running it on is McFarland. It's going to drop fair, rounding first. And going to second is Mendez as that ball rolls to the corner for a 2-out double. So after McMillan was able to retire the first 2 batters on strikeouts, Duarte represents the game-winning run on second base with Nick Lakaya striding to the plate on the day. 0 for 3. Reach on error, but got an RBI back in the second. Popped up to short in the third, walked in the 5th, and grounded out in the 7th. He toes the batter's box. McMillan comes set on the mound. Checks the runner at second base. Pearson fires the first pitch into Lakai. It's a 1-hopper to third where Mayo will get it and toss it over Santana at first to get out number 3. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and the game-winning runner left on base. We're through 9 full innings here from Ventura College, and we're still knotted up at 4. It's time for free baseball as we head to the 10th inning. You're watching Oaks Baseball at KDTV, 4-4 our score. We'll be right back. Top of the 10th inning here from Ventura College. Some free baseball for you. The second time the Oaks have seen extra innings in this season. The last time they lost to the Blues as Sam Shakin steps in and takes a strike for 0-1. That was the game 3 of the 3-game series when the Blues came to town. The Oaks ended up losing 5-4 in 10 as the 0-1 pitch is skied into left center field. Running back on it is Tillman, and he will make the grab just short of the hill, which basically acts as a warning track here at Ventura College for out number 1. By the way, for Shakin, he was 0 for 1 with an RBI before that at bat. Now 0 for 2 with a fly out to center.
Yeah, and it actually gets kind of dangerous back there because of that hill. So those outfielders, when they're running back, they may not notice that they're starting to run up.
Sun setting behind us, but still plenty of light for some free baseball as Brandon Lewis steps in. 4 minutes shy of the 3-hour mark as he takes a breaking pitch on the inside corner for strike 1. On the day for Lewis, 1 for 4. With a ground out to first, a single, a run scored, and 2 ground outs to short as the 0-1 pitch is taken at the knees for strike number 2. 4 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for the Halos. 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for the Oaks. Lewis in the number 5 spot. Waving that bat over his right shoulder from L.A. Pierce Junior College. Batted .419 for them this past season. Ferris deals the 0-2 pitch deep to left field. Running back on it is May, and that one's going to drop over the wall for a home run. And Brandon Lewis gives the Oaks a lead here, 5-4 in the top of the 10th inning.
Unbelievable. Brandon Lewis, clutch as can be, delivers a solo home run. Unbelievable.
A little insurance here for the Oaks now in the top of the 10th. That's his second home run on the season. 5-4 lead now, and that was the last thing you want to do if you're Ferris on the mound. That was the first hit he's given up. And 1 hit, 1 run. 5-4 score. Cody Santana steps in and waves and misses at a first pitch strike. 1 away here now, 1 around in the inning on the massive home run out to left center field. Santana on the day, 0 for 3 with a walk as he waits on the 0-1 pitch and pops it foul out of play, now down in the count 0-2. The Oaks seem to find a way. They were down 4-2 here through the majority of the game. The Halos, after the Oaks struck first in the top of the first, responded with 2 in the bottom of the second. 1 in the third and 1 in the fourth. The Oaks got 1 in the fourth, 2 in the seventh to tie it up. As the 0-2 pitch is waved at a miss, the pitch is in the dirt as Lakai will throw it over to Duarte at first for out number 2. So a strikeout and then a 2-3 putout for the third strikeout on the day for Ferris. And that's going to bring up Jordan McFarland on the day, 2 for 4 with 2 singles, an RBI, a strikeout, and a ground out as the first pitch in from Ferris is taken upstairs for ball 1. There's the third pitcher on the day for the Halos. Gave up that massive home run that gave the Oaks the lead. The 1-0 pitch is grounded to short. Aguilar is going to stab at it, take a couple steps to his right, and the throw will not come in time. An infield single with 2 away for Jordan McFarland.
Let's go, Zaner!
And that'll bring up Zane Willems, also known as Billy Bob to some of his teammates. 1 for 3 on the day with a pop-out, a single, a walk, and a pop-out over to second in his 4 at-bats. McFarland over at first base. 1 around in the inning, 2 away. Oaks up 5-4. And Ferris just trying to get out of this one. I would expect that Robbie Medell will come in to try to close things up as Williams ropes one to shallow left field for a base hit. Runners on first and second out. Back-to-back base hits for the Oaks. And Ferris is just pitching fastballs for strikes here. And the Oaks are capitalizing.
Yeah, once again, Willems doing a nice job. Saw the gap in left field and hit a nice base hit that sends McFarland over to second.
While we wait, as there's a conversation at the mound, I want to give a couple of shout-outs. First to Chris Ruffinelli, our team ops guy and PA announcer at Cal Lutheran, for listening in on today's game. We're sad you're not here with us, Ruff, but glad to know that you're watching. And, of course, Dr. Stephen Ames, an avid Oaks fan, also helped the organization in the beginning years, helping Jonah and myself out throughout the season as well. Castro comes in, the other Jacob on the team, and takes a pitch low for ball one. Comes in for his first at-bat in place of Juan Gonzalez, who's pinch run for in the last inning by Jason Oliver. Gonzalez ends his day 1 for 4. As the 0-1 pitch runs inside and low once again, 2-0. Jacob Castro just graduated from Rio Mesa High School a couple weeks ago, headed to UC Irvine in the fall. One of 3 Oaks catchers. Now, all 3 Oaks catchers have actually played in today's game. Gonzalez out, Willems at first, and now Castro in the batter's box. 2-0 count. Ferris checks the runner at second. Toes the rubber, kicks and fires the 2-0 pitch, and it's ripped over to first, but Duarte's going to block it with his body and take it himself for out number 3. 1 run comes around on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. The Oaks take a 5-4 lead as we head to the bottom of the 10th inning and one final breath, but you better know it. The Oaks star closer and CCL leader in saves, Robbie Medell, is going to stride in after this break. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back.
Let's go, Robbie.
Exciting bottom of the 10th inning. Here from Ventura College. Oaks up 5-4. Brandon Lewis broke the tie with a home run over the left field wall in the top half of the inning. And now Robbie Medell, the star closer from the University of Arizona, will step in. He's 5 for 5 on the season in saves. He's only allowed 2 hits in those 5 appearances. He got the save yesterday against the Riptide, 12-9. The CCO record in saves is 8 since 2011, and we believe that's actually the record of all time. We're going to have to double-check that with our Commissioner Pat Burns, but as of right now, that's where it stands, and if he gets a save today, that'll be number 6. As Blake Shiramonte in the number 8 spot steps in on the day, 1 for 4, reached on an error, a single, a run scored, a strikeout, and a pop-out in his 4 at-bats. The Shields are up for the Oaks here as Medell sets and fires the first pitch to Shiramonte outside for ball 1. 5 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for the Oaks. 4 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for the Halos. And it has been quite a fun one here for Ventura College. As Medell toes the rubber, Pearson fires the 1-0 pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Medell in his 2nd year with the Oaks, a phenomenal closer last season, but this season even better from the University of Arizona. Not only is he a phenomenal closer, but has quite an ear for music as well, as he comes set and fires the 1-1 pitch in the dirt for ball 2. He has over 300 records vinyl records. He collects music and has an incredible ear for it as well. But now trying to give the Oaks the win and chalk up another save. Takes a breath and fires the 2-1 pitch. Swung and it missed for strike 2. Shiramonte now has to battle with a 2-2 count. Nobody away here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Oaks up 5-4.
Yeah, and it's just so tough to generate hits with him on the mound. He's just so dominant.
Medel takes a breath, kicks and fires the 2-2 pitch. It's popped into shallow right field where Max Weinstein, the second baseman, will glove it for out number 1. One away here for the number 9 hitter, Christopher May. On the day, 2 for 3 with a strikeout, a double, a stolen base, and a single. He's also stranded on second base back in the 8th inning. We're in the bottom of the 10th. 1 out, nobody on. Oaks up 5-4. And Robbie Medel looking to close things down as he comes set from the stretch and fires the first pitch. It's waved at and gets through the infield into center field for a single. Christopher May, who came into pinch hit for Johnson back in the 4th inning, has done a very nice job. 3 for 4 in the number 9 spot. That's only the 3rd hit that Robbie Medel has given up this entire season. But we'll see. It could mean everything. Tying run at first base, now 1 away for Rudy Aguilar. In the top of the order on the day for Aguilar. 1 for 5 with 3 strikeouts, a flyout, and a single back in the 1st inning, but he was caught stealing. Medel checks the runner at first. Nods and fires the first pitch for a strike. Best case scenario, a double play ball here. Worst case scenario, a game-winning home run.
That would be the worst case scenario, certainly.
No balls, 1 strike, 1 away, 1 on. Medel deal, runner goes, it's low, swung and a miss. The throw is not in time. It looked like Aguilar got in the way of the throw, but there was no call from the home plate umpire. Normally when a batter has the bat in front of a catcher, it is interference. The home plate umpire and Solis having a conversation. That will be a stolen base and a strike. From our viewpoint, it definitely looked like interference because Castro was not able to get up in a way where he was able to avoid the bat, because it was a very late swing for Aguilar. It almost looked like he intentionally swung late to stop Castro behind the plate, but nonetheless, they're going to award that a stolen base to May.
That's a major stolen base because now 1 base hit, if it gets past the infield, could potentially tie this game up.
Again, from our viewpoint, it looked like Aguilar intentionally swung late and got in the way of Castro. It looked like that certainly on the camera as well, but no budge here from the home plate umpire. 0-2 the count. Medel checks the runner at second and fires the 0-2 pitch. Fouled back against the fence, and we'll do it again at no balls and 2 strikes. 5 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors here for the Oaks. 4 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for the Halos. The Halos with that tying run on second base with 1 away. Closer Robbie Medel on the mound. Checks the runner at second and fires the 1-2 pitch upstairs for ball 2. Medel with 5 saves on the season, got a save yesterday. Along with a save against the Riptide, the Blues, and the Foresters twice. As he checks the runner at second and fires the 1-2 pitch. It's fouled off the right foot of Aguilar, and we'll do it again at 1-2.
Yeah, and that's why I would expect, and as we can see, the infield for the Oaks stepping back a little bit in case, so that way that ball doesn't get through them.
Santana playing back on the infield grass, or outfield grass, excuse me, over at first base. Weinstein as well, shaken at short, and Mayu at third, all locking down their positions. The 1-2 pitch is taken on the outside corner. Cold strike 3. Down goes Aguilar. He's been struck out 4 times in today's game, and now Medel is 1 out away from getting his 6th save on the season. That's his first strikeout. 2 away, tying runner on second base, and Dayton Provost up in the batter's box. As Solis is going to have a conversation with his pitcher. Head coach Solis in his 11th year with the Oaks. Only 6 as the head coach, but he was the pitching coach before, so he knows a little bit about situations like this. Dayton Provost will step in on the day for him. 2 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, 2 singles, an RBI, and a walk. 2 away, runner on second base, a high-intensity game here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Jonah, if you're Robbie Medell, what are you thinking right now?
You got to be locked in entirely on Provost. He's one of the best hitters in the CCL. 2 for 4 on the day. You're just looking to try and strike him out, or at least force an easy ground out or fly out in the infield. You don't want anything going in the outfield. You don't want to take any chance that the runner from second can come all the way home.
2 away, runner on second. Medell toes the rubber. Checks the runner at second, kicks and fires the first pitch, taken on the inside corner for strike number 1. Medell, also a broadcast journalism major at the University of Arizona. We have him on sometimes on his days off to do some impromptu play-by-play. Not very bad at it either. So he comes set, takes a breath. Pearson fires though, 1 pitch, it's hit over to third. Mayu gets it and makes the throw over to first in time for out number 3. An exciting game here from Ventura College gives the Oaks the win at the end, 5-4. Robbie Medell gets the save, his 6th on the season. The winning pitcher for the Oaks is Jacob Flores. Check that, the winning pitcher is not Jacob Flores. The winning pitcher is actually Ty Harpenow.
Thank you for your attendance and drive safely.
And the losing pitcher is Calvin Ferris. As I just corrected, it was Evan McMillan is the winning pitcher as Brandon Lewis hit the home run with McMillan on the mound. But the real winner of the day is Brandon Lewis with that home run. Final line for you, Oaks win it 5-4, 5 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors for the Oaks, 4 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors. For the Halos, Jonah, Oaks now on a 4-game winning streak. They win a crazy one here in Ventura College. How do you even break down what went on in today's game?
Just an unbelievable back and forth, coming in, down to the wire. And then Brandon Lewis coming in clutch at the top of the 10th, launches a solo home run. Just an unbelievable resiliency from this squad as we've seen them and we've grown accustomed to now. They had a huge comeback against the Foresters. Now they do it again against the Halos. And once again, it stemmed from their ability to limit their errors late in the game. Obviously, they had 2 in the first 2 innings of play. But after that, the final 8 innings, no errors. And ultimately, that was the difference in the game. So for them, just an unbelievable execution and job for the Oaks.
Unbelievable is the best way to put it. We're going to have to get out of here kind of early, unfortunately, for our post-game show just because we had to take the bus and we don't want to keep the team waiting. But we're going to head over to Twitter for Oaks post-game. Jonah will be interviewing our player of the game, Brandon Lewis, who hit the game-winning home run in the 10th inning. Oaks took it 5-4. Head over to Twitter for Oaks post-game. Until then, the Oaks will have a day off tomorrow and then start a 3-game series back at Cal Lutheran at 4:30 on Thursday against the Pacific Union Capitalists. For everybody here who made this broadcast possible, everybody, including head coach David Solis, the Santana family for their support, our statistician Keith Schneider, and my broadcasting partner Jonah Malkin, my name is Jonathan Rifkin signing off and wishing you a very pleasant rest of your Tuesday evening. Head over to Twitter. Jonah will be with Brandon Lewis. Once again, the Oaks win it 5-4.